Welcome to a brand new episode of Trophy Husband Podcast. I am Matt Cruz. This is Syi2. How you feeling today?
Chilling, dog, bro. Once again, back in here. Got the coffee. New creamer, by the way. Some Snickers shit. It ain't bad.
Fancy.
But I'm good.
All right. So today we're going to talk about what and why made us join the military. Okay. How was our experience in the military? What forced us to get out? And how was the transition from military lifestyle to civilian lifestyle? But first, we're going to talk about what we did this week. So what's the weekly update with you?
So for your boy, still kind of just doing basic editing stuff like for this, like getting used to the whole uploading it to different things. And then finally finished out the last photo shoot I did, which I started posting. Chick I did with the motorcycle thing was kind of fire. Like, I think she did really good. It's her bike, by the way. I had a lot of people asking me, like, was it mine or something like that? I was like, nah, she rode that. And she took her own pictures on that. But it was cool, cool doing that. And then the kids been cool. Virginia's going through like a really bad teething stage right now, bro. I'm talking about she is losing her mind. Like, just screaming, dog. I feel so bad. So we're giving her like teething medicine and stuff. But other than that, man, Maryland's chilling at school and Callie's still at the crib, just trying to develop. But other than that, man, it's been chill, dog. Been not a bad week this week.
That's shit. I finally got the floor done yesterday.
Oh yeah?
In the hallway? Yeah.
Finally.
So yeah, finally. I mean, I tried to do it myself, a little DIY. Didn't pan out the way I wanted to, so I had to get some help. It was actually a dude from my music appreciation class this semester. Okay. Yeah, I thought I was the oldest motherfucker in my class. That man is 38 years old. Yes, that man is 38. Down to earth, cool. Yo, he cool dude. He a cool dude. He was in the crib, chopping up with him for like about 4 hours, helping him. She was showing me how to do stuff. Yeah, it was pretty dope. He's a pretty cool dude. Might have him on a later episode because he actually owns a small business. So it's like he does home improvement. Cool. And then he's black owned too. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. Besides that, freaking the kids got pictures next week, so I gotta get their cuts. Yeah. Freaking Malachi came home with like a bloody shirt yesterday. And I was like, what the hell happened there? And then I look at his gum. He got the only bruise in his gum. Supposedly, I guess like two girls in his class were fighting over a jacket, and he got trying to get through.
Bring it up.
He got rocked with the zipper right in his mouth.
Jeez.
And I was like, bro, what happened? And I'm like, how your teacher did not notify us? Like you go, you got blood on your shirt. You think I'm not gonna ask questions about that? Like, what the hell? Like, come on now.
Ridiculous.
So we got a conference with her, I think next week or something like that. But besides that, just been schoolwork, freaking cleaning, cooking,
Classic.
usual shit.
Classic.
Yeah.
I actually might do my laundry this weekend. I don't know. I'm feeling adventurous. I feel it. I wanted to ask so I know we were talking about fantasy before. We're still doing a weekly jump. So this week took a pretty big L. So out of the 4, I went 2-2. And then one of them lost by 4 points because Buffalo D wanted to go off at the end of the game, bro. Like, I think they put up 24 points or so, 22 points on Tennessee's head.
Yeah, I think so.
Lost by 4 points in that. So decided to do some crazy trades. Traded for Kelsey in one league, which I don't think I gave up too much for it. But I traded Kelsey in one league, and then I just did that major trade with Derrick Henry and DJ Moore, Mike Evans to give me Tyreek and Antonio Gibson. So maybe I'll get a come up, but I don't know, dog. Remember, I got like $50, $100 in these. So I gotta try
I
to do something.
I got dubbed. I lost by 20, but I really don't give a crap because my Jets won. You know.
Hey, bro, the Jets
Hey,
won,
that was a
dog.
great
I don't know
win.
how y'all did it, but
That
y'all
was a
did it.
great fucking win. Hey,
Oh,
21 years, 2,993 games since a team has came back by 14 plus points with 2 minutes left in the game, and they just pulled it off. Pulled a rabbit out of their ass. But hey, it was a good week for
it
me
was a
for
good
that.
win,
I
man.
could give two fucks about my fantasy.
It was a good
That's,
win, dog. Nah, I had to look forward to something because Washington got stomped out. I
I mean,
mean,
they might try to make it a game at the end.
the
They try to
crazy
make it a game
part
at the
was
end.
like we almost made it a
They
game.
try to make it a game at the end. I mean, I give it
Like,
to them.
like what happened in the first half where we got shut out, and then all of a sudden we put up, I think we put up 20 something points in the third or in the fourth. Like, come on, man. Like, what was that in the first
Hey,
half? But you know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, that our defensive coordinator, bro, he might get fired. I ain't even gonna hold you. I think it's Jack Del Rio, whatever how you say his name.
oh, Jack Del Rio?
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro, he gotta go. Like, he gotta go. Because I don't know what's going on. I don't know how we went from number 3 defense in 2020 to number 15, 16 defense in 2021 to now like 28, 29.
Well, yeah, I don't got Chase Young right
Bro,
now.
we didn't have
I'm
Chase Young most of the year last year either.
I got that, but I'm saying like I feel like once y'all get Chase Young on that
I don't know,
line,
man.
it's gonna bring that pressure. All right, because look what's going
It
on right now.
better. It better.
Jonathan Allen's getting double teamed. Jonathan
Hey,
Allen on the inside is getting double teamed.
it
Now you put
better.
Chase Young at the end, it takes away that double team and it brings pressure from the inside.
Still, man, play
I'm
calling
just
just wasn't
saying.
there.
I'm just
Our play
saying.
calling was not there. I'm telling you that right
Yeah,
now. Our
yeah.
defensive play calling was not there to try to stop St.
I
Brown.
think it'll get better. Honestly, I think it'll get better.
It better,
I'm just excited for the fact that like we got Joe Flacco under center. And that man is third in passing
bro.
yards.
He's elite.
He is third, okay, in the league.
He keep playing like that.
Imagine
Wilson
what
may not start.
Zach Wilson starting. This already confirmed. The minute he gets that green light, it's a wrap. So
Y'all gonna lose.
Imagine what Zach Wilson finna do in this offense. I can't
Y'all
wait for
gonna
that.
lose because Zach Wilson ass.
You a
I'm
hater.
sorry, he's not good.
You're a hater.
He's not good. I'm
All right, we'll
sorry.
talk. We'll see. We'll see later.
We will see. We will
We'll
see when
see,
y'all
man.
draft another quarterback next year.
Bro, how this your quarterback? How many years? How many quarterbacks have you had in the past 5 years?
Yeah, shit, tough. It's
I
absolutely tough.
so don't come at me. Hey,
Yeah, like you
y'all listen. Y'all drafted Chase Young knowing that y'all needed a quarterback. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, no, you're right. No,
I don't want to hear it,
bro? What you talk? We just got Dwayne the year before. RP to my man's, but we just had him the year before.
I don't want to
Like
hear it.
they weren't gonna draft another quarterback when we just drafted a quarterback at 15. It's
I'm
not
just
gonna
saying.
happen.
I'm just saying. You know,
We not
Ohio State.
Arizona.
I'm just saying. You know, Ohio State and USC quarterbacks do not make it in the NFL.
Trust me, I knew that.
The only one exception is Carson Palmer.
I didn't want Dwayne Haskins. I wanted Brian Burns. Brian Burns went to pick right after us. Imagine that. Imagine that. If we would have took Brian Burns and then boom at number 2, we could have drafted Herbo.
Hey,
Let Chase walk.
It is what it is.
Hell, we could have got Chase too. Fuck it.
Yeah, that would have been
2
a dub.
elite edges
Yeah.
off the, you know what I'm saying? Well, we got Montez Sweat too. But you talking about Brian Burns and Chase Young on the edge? Could you imagine that? Crazy shit. And it wasn't like Haskins was really helping us. So, well, I mean, we pretty much the Washington Panthers at this point. So it is what it is. So I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see what we do this year. I'm pretty sure we're gonna draft a quarterback this year, though, for sure. I think so. I think we're gonna take a first round pick, especially if we're in the top half. If we're 15 and below, we're taking one of those quarterbacks. There's gonna be one of them that is decent enough for us to take, even with Carson Wentz's contract.
Well, let's just see what Carson does. Let's see what Wentz does.
Man. I mean, I hope he does. I mean, he's what, 4th in yards right now?
He's right behind. He's
right
behind
Flacco,
Joe Flacco,
I believe.
Right behind Flacco.
Hey, we outside, so maybe it works. It is what it is, though.
So, to our first topic, what and why made your crazy ass join the military? What was the reasonings?
Well, all right. So it definitely started as like a child. Like I came from a military family to begin with. So great grandfather in the army, grandfather in the army, father in the army, uncles and shit in the army. And then on my mom's side, they all went in the Navy. So my great grandfather was in the Navy. He was at no, not great. My grandfather was he in Pearl Harbor? One of them was at Pearl Harbor when the
Oh
shit went
shit.
down. One of
Mm.
them as a cook out there laying rounds down range. One of those niggas. Because back then, all you could do was cook. So he was there. Then I got my brother who was in the Navy. Uh, I got mad cousins like in the Air Force and stuff like that. No Marine Corps shit. So as I was going through and growing up and stuff like that, like military was just on the card. Like it was in the cards. Like it was gonna happen. Like I tried to do college thing. I had scholarships. I wasn't feeling it. And the only thing that was really calling me was the military anyway. So I remember going to actually I give it up to the recruiter, bro. That's how I got it. That's how, I gotta give up to the recruiters, bro, because my recruiter top notch. Staff Sergeant Ponce now. I think he's Master Sergeant Ponce now. But my man, so I was going into the recruiting office, right? Went to the recruiting office first day. Went over there, went straight to the back because it was the one, it got all
All
the
the
branches.
branches. Yeah,
Yeah, so I
yeah.
go straight to the back to the Air Force. He won't dare. So I left my number and stuff like that. And then I came back out, and then the Army one had the entire left side of the building. So their
Of course
office
they
was
do.
huge. So I went in
Yeah.
there, talked to this dude. He talking to me, chalking me up, saying, trying to get me to join for a Dodge Charger and stuff like that, trying to get me in here and do all that stuff. And I was just like, all right, I was down. I was in there. Like I was all about it. And
Yeah.
walk right past the Navy because I couldn't swim. We'll get back to that later. But right past the Navy, you know what I'm saying? And my brother was in the Navy, so I wasn't really trying to do that anyway. So
Yeah.
I talked to the recruiter. He's like, yeah, man, we're gonna make it work, blah, 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 blah. So I walk out. But as I walked out, Marine Corps recruiter posted up outside smoking and stuff, just kicking it, bro. He was posted. He's like, hey, what's up, man? What you into? I was like, oh, I was talking to the Army recruiter. He's like, oh, what they tell you in there? And I told him, he was just like, all right, well, if you change your mind, we right across the hallway. And I was like, all right, I appreciate that. He's like, all right, come back, talk to the Army recruiter again, come back outside. Marine Corps recruiter outside smoking. Hey, what's up, man? What you into? This Hispanic dude, I never forget him too, because he looked like Bruno Mars. He looked like Bruno Mars, bro. Bruno Mars had a buzz cut. That was my recruiter. So he light skinned dude. Hey man, what's up? What's good with you? Like he's from New York. So he's like keep trying to get me. And I was like, nah, man, I'm doing this army thing. Bro, I was talking to the army for 5 months and didn't even take the ASVAB with them. They were just trailing me along forever. And, they didn't even give me a chance to look at my ASVAB score to see, if I was good or anything like that.
Yeah,
It
see if you
was,
qualified.
yeah. So months, bro. Every time I walk out of the office, Marine Corps recruiter. Hey, what's good with you, bro? Like, hit me with it. The same fucking line. Then one day, I got pretty pissed off with the Army guy. I was walking out, and the Marine Corps recruiter was in the office with one of the dudes I was in ROTC with. He already joined. He was already signed up Marine Corps shit. They were playing Call of Duty Zombies in there in the office, hanging out. I walk by, my boy sees me, Mikey. He sees me. He's like, "What's up, man?" I was like, "Oh shoot, what's up, man? What's going on?" And then he turned the recruiter playing Call of Duty. He turned around, "Hey, what's up, man? What's going on?" And it, like hype as hell. And I'm like, "Oh, blah 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 blah." He was like, "Hey, man, they let you take the ASVAB yet?" And I was like, "Nah, like I haven't taken it yet." He was like, "How long you been going in there?" And I told him. He was like, "Nah, fuck all that. You ready for it?" And I was just like, at this time, I was like, I don't know, like I wasn't even studying for it. I was just kind of like whatever. And he
Yeah.
was like, "Hey, nah, man, you good? We take the practice one right now." I took the practice ASVAB right then, scored like an 85 or something like that. Dude was like, nah. Listen, I can get you in signed up by next week. And I was like,
Oh, say
next week,
less.
you say? I was like, next week I can be depped in. And he was like, next week I got you, bro. This is a Thursday. Mind you, I ain't even talked to my parents yet. Haven't even mentioned this yet. But I was
Yeah.
18 already, so I didn't really have to yet. All they
Yeah.
knew was the army thing. So next week I do the real ASVAB. I think I scored like an 82 on that one. Came back next week, went to Mets on that Tuesday, depped in, came back to my parents. I already signed up. I'm already in here.
Well,
And
and just hold
my
on,
parents were
not to cut you off,
pissed.
not to
Yeah.
cut you off.
Oh yeah.
Just let people know the ASVAB is similar
Oh
to the
yeah.
SATs, and the score is from 0 to 99.
Yeah.
So your boy scored really high on that test.
Like what I
But
think at the time it was like a minimum gotta have like a for the
32,
Marine Corps back then, it was pretty
32.
low.
No, it's
Yeah,
32.
32. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
32.
Oh yeah, Army was low. Army was low
Yeah,
back
armor
then.
was
Army
low.
has a very low one. But
Yeah,
32 is like minimum for us. And
yeah, the
then
bare
the,
minimum,
the higher you get, the better
the better
chances of better
jobs.
jobs and stuff like that.
Right.
Like
But
my brother scored a 98, by the way.
god damn.
He was a nuclear engineer, man.
Mm.
So blah blah blah. So he got me in there, man. And I honestly just didn't expect it to go down like that, bro. Like I had no intentions. Mind you, this was a week in and I already depped in. I didn't know Marine swim. I didn't even know what Marine meant. I didn't know anything at this point. I just signed up. I was ready to go. And I saw the uniform, always look at the uniform. And I was just sold off that alone. Like I was sold off him, everyone else I talked to in that uniform. I was sold. So I was learning about all this, the military or the Marine Corps after the fact. So, and by that point, back then you didn't even know that you could back out of the debt program, which you can, but I didn't know that at the time. I was thought, you thought you just locked into this. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
You could back out all the way to the day you leave.
Before yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
to the day you get on the bus to head to Paris Island, you good. You could just back out. But I didn't know that at the time, so I was just like, learning about it and shit, and learning about it. And remember, like you said, like I said, I ain't know how to swim, and I didn't know marine meant marine. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm like, oh yeah, marine life, water. I ain't know that. I ain't know that. I didn't know you can go on ship. I didn't know anything about that shit. All I knew was what you see on the news. Marines out there in Afghanistan laying rounds down range. That's all I knew. So when I left and I went down to boot camp, I had my recruiter. He in the car. We riding. He turn around, look at me. Hey, yo, bro, can you swim?
Oh, shit.
Yo, I'm in the back seat. I got my backpack. I'm ready to go. I was like,
No.
nah. My recruiter. All right, looking back on it now, I know what the look was. Was this look of fear that came across his face? Because he looking in front. I'm behind him. I see him in the rear view. He thinks about it for like 2 seconds. He's like, "Don't even trip, dog. They gonna teach you there. Don't even trip, bro." I was like, because his thing is, I could
Oh,
get out of
shit.
that car right now. I'm not at MEPS yet. I could just back
Yeah.
out. So he was like, "Don't even trip, bro. They teach you there. They got good guys to teach you how to swim. You good." And he got me. He got me, dog. I mean, I passed, obviously, all that other shit. But
Granted, yeah.
how I did it, that recruiter was fucking good. I'm talking about my recruiter was top tier, man. Like, and I think the best thing he could possibly do was not tell me anything. I was like so naive and so just down with whatever. That's kind of my mentality. I'm kind of like, once you get with me and we hanging out and stuff like that, you tell me, hey, we about to go do this. I'm down. I'm down for whatever. And
Yeah.
he knew that. So his best thing was like, I'm not about to tell him shit. I'm about to just run him, make sure he could pass the initial, and hopefully he make it. And my recruiter told me that exact thing when I got back. That's literally what he said. He was like, I ain't want to tell you because I felt like if I told you all this shit, you would back out. And he told
He
me
probably
that I
wasn't
think,
wrong.
and he wasn't wrong. I probably would have backed out,
Yeah.
but he was good, man. Like my recruiter was great. I mean, probably not in the goodest sense to like tell me everything, like the bullshit and things that could happen at boot camp, or the swimming, or even shooting or anything like that. Like I mean anything like
Yeah.
that. He didn't tell me anything. I mean, I ain't know about the Crucible until about 2 weeks before I left. I ain't know none of that shit. And I just went in there, dog. CFT, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. I don't know what you talking about. I just showed up to boot camp ready to run, dog. And that was probably the best thing that could happen to me, dog. I got lucky and made it through. My recruiter, top tier dude, bro. That's how I got it.
Oh,
I got it.
shit. For me, it was just weird as hell because in high school I was that kid that made fun of the ROTC kids, like, oh, look at these bums, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, bro.
just talking real reckless. But then 4 years in high school, I was a band geek. But the what is it? The picture, I guess you want to say, or like
Mm,
the stereotype of a band geek wasn't similar to how it was in my high school because my high school was predominantly Hispanic.
yeah,
So you already know if you're in the band, you're probably playing some music like some Spanish shit.
yeah.
So we all had like we brought our own type of Caribbean or our different types of music into the band. So senior year, I still didn't know what the hell I was gonna do because my dumbass was over here trying to chase tail
Surely.
and fucking up in class. So my grades weren't that good to get a scholarship. Didn't have the money to go to school. So I'm like, well, I might as well just do the community college, ride it out for 2 years and then transfer. That was my plan. So the Marine recruiter comes to my band class my senior year, which is like a skate class at that point. Because
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We hanging
yeah,
out.
and he over here with the presentation of the Marine Corps band.
Oh
I,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and I was in the drum line, so snare drum on some Nick Cannon shit. So and I was like, oh damn, that looked cool. Like
It
shit,
do look cool.
I get paid to bang a drum. Shit, I was contemplating that. I was like, you know what? Okay. And then I talked to him about it, and I was like, yeah, I think I want to do it, but you're gonna have to persuade my parents. Because like I said, Puerto Rican, Hispanic, they real,
Oh yeah, yeah,
especially
yeah.
my mother. My mother real protective at that time, real fucking protective. So I was like, yeah, you're gonna have to come through to the crib and talk to them. And they were like, and he was like, all right, yeah, just say when. I was like, okay. So I think the very next week, he comes to the house. Like I bring it up to my parents. They're like, Marine Corps, military. Fuck this coming from? Because it came out of the blue.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they. I was
And
mind
you the
you.
oldest too, so this
Yeah,
is
and I'm the oldest,
before the
and
rest of
there's
them.
no
Yeah.
type of military. Like there's
Uh,
no military in my family. There's no type of people going in before me or anything. I was the first one
yeah.
in my family to actually join the military. So they're like off rip, they were like, fuck no, it's not happening. I was like, well, I'm 18. So either you talk to him, get the information, or I'm just gonna do whatever. I'm just gonna do what I want anyways. Because I'm 18, I can sign my shit myself. I don't care. So they sat down, they talked to him, they that's one thing I could say about my parents, because a lot of parents, they're real quick to be like, no,
Oh,
no.
just cut it off. Yeah.
Yeah, cut it
Cut it
off,
off.
close minded. That's
Yeah.
one thing I could, I give them credit for. At first, they were like, nah, not happening. But the minute they got the information, they were like, looks like looks like the real deal. So he gave me the practice test in my house that same day, scored like a 50. And then he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pick you up tomorrow and you will take the test. Mind you, I'm on fucking spring break.
Oh man, wasting your time.
Yeah, I'm on spring break. Motherfucker didn't give me no time to study at all. And I'm like, damn. So I scored a 45 on my ASVAB. And I had no driver's license because
Oh,
lived
so
in
you
New
couldn't
Jersey.
do any of that type
Yeah,
of
so I
shit.
lived in New Jersey,
I haven't driver's license either. I have one either.
Yeah, but so I was like, all right, fine. Dep in, everything is all good and stuff. I'm over here with my polo shirt, hooking and jiving. And freaking next thing you know, for like 3 months, I don't hear from him, my recruiter. I don't hear from him at all. It's just radio silent. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Next thing you know, I'm at work and get a phone call. Hey, what's going on, Sergeant Tapia? I'm your new recruiter. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And I hung up on his ass.
You said new
Yeah.
recruiter?
Yes. New recruiter.
Oh, shit.
So my recruiter actually finished his tour on
And
recruiting
bopped
duty
out.
and bopped out, went back to the fleet and didn't say shit. Yes. So I was like, yo, you know what? Fuck this. So I was depped in. Like
Yeah, they
in
just didn't
April.
know.
Yeah. So I was in April of 2012. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes. So and then I graduated and all that. So after I graduated, I didn't hear from them for months.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, fuck it. At that time, I was working 3 jobs at Jersey Gardens in Elizabeth. 3 jobs, opening to fucking closing. Hollister, Finish Line, Nautica. Oh, I didn't work at Nautica at the time? Okay, bet. I'm down in the freaking first floor fixing up cell phones, putting screens on shit, right? Like, my family did not see me for like 6 days out the week. Because I tell you, I had to take the bus. So I wouldn't get home until like midnight. Yeah. So I would literally get up at like 8 o'clock, 8:30, take the bus to be there at like 9. And then I was there from 9 to 11 at night. So I lived off of Mrs. Fields and Auntie Anne pretzels. Yeah. So once I got that phone call from Sergeant Tapia, he started like blowing me up. So I'm like, man, fuck you, bro. I'm like, nah, I'm good on that. Fuck you. I'm done. I'm like, I don't even want to do it anymore. Right. Next thing you know, school starts. I'm already graduated, but Marcus, my brother, he's I think a junior at the time. So he's going to the high school and he's finding my brother. He's like, yo, where's your brother at?
No.
Yeah, he's like, where's your brother?
Oh, yeah, because he got your information. So he's like, yeah. I know your brother.
Yeah, he's like, yo, where's your brother? And he's, of course, my brother, of course, snitched that he is. He's like, oh, he's in the house. Man, you a fucking asshole. So next thing you know, he starts knocking, like coming to my house. To your door. I'm like, I ain't answering that shit. You can ring the door all you want. I ain't coming to the front. Fuck you. Next thing you know, my mom was like, yo, what are you fucking doing? What are you going to do? Are you going to do this or you're not? Because you signed up for this shit. You said that you were going to do it, so you got to fucking do it. Because that's one thing that I give them credit. Like, another thing. They were real big on that. Like, yo, if you say you're going to do something.
Yeah, if you can say you're going to do something, you got to do it.
Yeah. So she dead ass dragged my ass to the fucking office and was like, yo, what the fuck? Was like, yo, how is the miscommunication? And then, of course, the station commander at the time, the person in charge, was like, oh, that's our apologies. I'm like, I don't want to hear that shit. Like, that's one thing that they could not do to, like, a lot of recruiters do. I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them do is what they do is they bullshit families. That's one thing you can't do to us. You can't bullshit us. I'm sorry, you can't do it. So next thing you know, I'm at a PT session one day in February. And he's like, hey, Cruz, you're shipping to boot camp next week. I was like, mind you, my ship day was in April. Yeah. And this is February 2013. And I was like, no, the fuck I'm not. So just like that. What you talking about? I told him just like that. I'm like, no, the fuck I'm not. I'm not leaving next week. I'm leaving in April. He's like, no, we need you to leave next week. I'm like, oh, yeah? Yeah, you might want to take my ass home and tell that to my parents because I ain't going to be the one to tell them this shit. And then they told my mom, and she was like, no, the fuck he's not. Bye.
Shit.
So the next thing you know, they have my parent, like, my dad ends up going to the office because they were like trying to force me to go.
Oh yeah.
And my dad was like, no, it's not happening. You said he's leaving on April. He's gonna fucking leave in April. So they gave me the choice. It was either you could leave in February or you could leave in April.
I mean, in February you're back about like May. So
yeah. So I was like, but at the time I wasn't really getting hours from any of my 3 jobs. You know what I'm saying? Shit. And I wasn't really doing shit. So, and on top of that, I was tired of working, and I needed to get the fuck up out of Jersey. I was like, fuck this. I need to get the fuck out. So I was like, you know what? I'll leave in February. Plus, on top of that, the reason why I wanted to join, the thing I didn't even get to do. So I didn't even get. I didn't even get an audition.
That band shit never came back.
No, I didn't even get an audition with the band director. Because what happened was the station commander for Jersey City, he fucking called him and was like, oh yeah, we'll do a phone interview. I was like, okay. He's like, oh, can you play on a G clef? And I'm like, hold on, snare drum, there's no pitch on a snare drum. It's only neutral clef. So I'm like, how am I supposed to play on a G clef or a treble clef? There's no pitch, low or high. It's a snare drum. It's all one pitch. It doesn't go up or down. It just stays the same. And he was like, oh yeah, you do. You're not qualified enough to be in the band. I was like, wow, okay.
Did he want you to play drums or did they want you
to that's what but that's the thing. They didn't specify.
So they probably just wanted you to come in and play any drum.
But that's the thing though, is like, if you being in, you seen the fucking Marine Corps
I've
band.
seen it.
Where do you see a drum set? Where do you see a drum set? It's literally it's
I mean, they
marching
do, but they
band.
don't have. That's not the main thing. They
Yes,
have,
exactly.
they have marching bands and shit like that. So
Yeah, and that's
nah,
what I told him I was doing.
that was
I
some
wanted
whole
to
shit.
do.
That's what that was.
Yeah,
That was just some whole shit to get you in. That's
yeah,
all it was.
exactly. So I was like, all right, man, whatever. So, but I still left in February. Yeah, it
I
was.
mean, you gotta take it, man. Like at a certain point, you gotta do what you gotta do. Because I depped in 2010, and I didn't go until 2011. But I was trying to wait for MP contract. So that was what my dad thing was. He was like, he was all afraid of the whole Marine Corps stigma to where you
Mhm.
go and join and you don't have a future once you get out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Doing a grunt thing. And I'm telling you straight up right now, bro. There was no way in hell I'll sign a grunt contract. I'll tell you that
Oh
right
yeah.
now.
No, I
I
was
wasn't
not
that
doing
dude.
infantry.
That wasn't me.
Not
Listen,
me neither.
like I understand we gotta fight and you know,
Yeah.
I will shoot if I need to, but I did not sign up to be a grunt. That's not what I
Yeah,
want to
that's
do.
one thing I told him. Like, listen, you're not like literally. I sat down with my recruiter. I'm like, I'm not doing
I'm not doing
infantry.
it. No.
Better get that
Give
shit
me
out of your
something else.
vocabulary. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. So I was trying to sign up for an MP contract. So I waited. I waited a long time for that MP contract. And I was working doing the exact same thing you were. And every once in a while, my recruiter would hit me up. He's like, "Hey man, I got this other contract open up. You trying to get down on that?" It was like, you know, supply or yeah, he had me on like some engineering thing, and then ammo tech came up, and then it was like a bunch of random shit. And every time I was like, "Nah, I'm not really. I'm gonna keep waiting because that's what my dad told me to do." And then come around February, funny, all this has happened around February too. Around February, my recruiter's like, "Hey, listen, bro, I can get you in to go March 7th if you sign up for this logistics contract." And I was like, the fuck is logistics? Like, what does that mean? My recruiter looked at me dead in my eyes. It said, shit, I don't know. Shit could be anything. Like, you could be working behind a desk outside. I don't know. Like, logistics, you're moving stuff. That's all I know. And that's recruiter was it was a pretty, it's not an open contract, but for all my logistics dudes, you know, it's a logistics option contract. That's what it's called.
Yeah, yeah. Max signed up
Yep,
for
Max
when he
signed the
joined.
same thing.
He signed the same
Myra signed the
shit.
same thing.
Yep.
It is, you could be ammo tech, my job 0481, embarkation specialist, maintenance management specialist, a bunch of shit. It's all that 04 shit,
Yeah.
X4 shit, all that.
Yeah.
You could be a fucking what's it called it too? Gas guys, Seaburn dude. So
Right.
he was like, I don't know, but you could be any of this. And he was just like, just I can get you out of here right now if you just take it. And I was like, same thing, man. I was just like, man, I'm tired of working at fucking Shoe Show and Foot Locker. I'm fucking tired. And you know, I wasn't getting any faster, so I was just like, man, fuck it. We about to run it.
Yeah.
So I went March 7th down to Paris Island, which I ain't even gonna hold you. I went at the best time of my life because I'm telling you right now, if I would have went in November,
I would have been brick.
or I wouldn't have made it.
Would have
Like
been cold
I
as a
couldn't
bitch.
function in the cold. You know what I mean? Like it's too fucking cold, bro. Like I couldn't function. I would have been cut it. This ain't for me. I ain't gonna make it. So, because I went in March, so it's still kind of cold in the mornings, you know, because you're getting that sea, that
Yeah, I went in
ocean.
February. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
So it's a
know.
little brisk, you know, what I'm saying a little
Yeah,
brisk.
but then
But
it heat up. It
man,
heat up. It heat
I
up.
remember what the first day we got like a black flag. Black flag was like I think it's like 90 and above or some shit. The first
No,
day,
it's 95.
yeah, 95. The
Yeah,
first day we
95.
got it, range. First day ever.
Damn.
Like we got it. It was hot as hell. And we was on the rain, sweating and shit. And but you know, I went through boot camp and all the other shit like that. But I just had to take the contract, man. Like I wasn't waiting to think about that. 2010. 2010, I could have joined if I would have had that logistics contract. Imagine if I would have joined in 2010. I've been a master right now. If I would have
Shit.
joined in 210. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
got I got I got mass sergeants that I used to work with that joined in 2010. And I was a staff sergeant. And I was joined in 2011. So that lets you know
I
like
mean,
how quickly I could have moved up the chain if I would have joined early.
but you know what though? Like when we get further into this, like we joined there's a reason why we joined when we did join.
Yeah,
So,
true.
but like, I like it's just crazy because it's like it just all came quick, fast, and fucking
Yeah,
hurry.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, and then on top of that, it's like every time something major, like when it came to the Marine Corps, like an event with me, it rained.
It what?
Like it rained. Like, and that was like a bad sign. I was like, what the fuck? Like, and it wasn't like no drizzle, you know what I'm saying? Like it was like
Nah,
that. It
torrential
was like
downpour.
it was like that ominous, like fucking like movie scene, like some bad shit finna
The
happen.
Crucible, how you
And
headed to the Crucible?
yeah, bro, no,
Rain.
I went like when I went to boot camp, the day I went to boot camp, it was crazy because you know how usually when you go to boot camp, you go to the hotel that Sunday, and then you go to MEPS on Monday, and then you ship
Mm.
out, right?
Yeah, I went to a hotel, then yeah,
Yeah.
left.
So fucking the recruiter was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna take him on Sunday. He's gonna be in the hotel, and then he'll go on Monday." Straight up, my mom didn't even let him finish his sentence. He's like, "No, the fuck he's not. No, he's not. You're gonna pick his ass up
On
on
Monday.
Monday because you want to send him early, and we want our time with him."
Damn.
Yeah, like yo, my mom, straight up OG, triple
Oh
OG.
man.
She that ass son that dude, bro. Like she's
Dang.
like not happening. I was like, all right, whatever.
Caught your ass slipping. Thought
Yeah,
thought thought you about to be at a hotel.
yeah,
I think not.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, like before I left out, because I MEPS was a lot looser back then than what it is now.
Mm.
So it's like they were able to see me like swear in and then have me
Oh
like
yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah,
bus.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Oh,
They
my
they went
parents didn't
to
do that shit.
yeah. My parents did all that shit. That was one thing. Like they were mad supportive when it came to that. Like
Nah, my
they
parents
were
didn't do that shit. They weren't
yeah.
there.
No,
I raised my hand by my goddamn self.
nah, yeah. I still have pictures and shit like that, and it's
That's cute.
crazy.
That's cute.
Yeah,
Stand next to the
whatever.
Marine Corps emblem and shit.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I think it was the flags.
Yeah, I know what she's talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
shit cute as fuck. Cause they separate the
yeah,
flags and then each
yeah.
group goes to their flag.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was like yeah. I had one with my
Yeah, that shit
dad.
cute.
Yeah, but yeah. But that's crazy. It's crazy too because it's like because of the military. That was the first time I got on a plane going up to because from New
Oh,
York,
you flew.
I flew. I was in Jersey.
Yeah. Oh
So
no, we took a
Jersey,
bus.
well, you was closer.
DC?
Shit, it's
You talking
closer than
about
fucking. I
yeah,
don't know.
I
It's
guess
closer
so.
to
Yeah.
Jersey.
But yeah,
I
we took a
was
bus.
shooked on that plane, bro, because that was the first time I was on the plane. I was by myself, and I was
Nigga
like, "Yo, what
nervous,
the?"
boy.
I was nervous as a bitch.
No,
I
we
was like,
took a
"What the
bus.
fuck?" But
Took a
yeah,
bus. It was like 15 of us rode on that bus down there to Paris Island.
yeah,
Some of
but
the people I'm still cool with too. Never forget them. Homies.
yeah,
Still cool with on that bus. I'm still cool with niggas I met on that bus. No, we took a
yeah,
bus, man, and well, I told you, like for me, man, my shit was pretty bad because when I joined, told you when I signed up, I was 115 pounds, soaking wet. Like I was teeny, but you had to be at least 119 to go to boot camp. You had to be the 120. I think it was 120, but you had to be like at that weight. So my recruiter was trying to fatten me up and shit. So we were just going out to eat all the time. He was paying for it, like all you can eat buffets and shit, just feeding a nigga. And then that last night, right before when we went to MEPS, that Sunday or whatever, they wait to send you do that physical shit. He fed me all this food and was like, "Don't use the bathroom. Don't even pee. Just hold it, whole time." And I went in there and I think I weighed like maybe a little bit off where I needed to be, and the Mets guy was just like, "All right, and just let it ride," because I had a waiver to get in because of my weight. So I went in and did all that shit. Finally used the bathroom after the fact and shit. Finally, after holding that shit in for hours because my
yeah.
recruiter is trying to make me make weight so I can be able to go. I mean, it's pretty insane to think about, like the amount of shit my recruiter went through. That bus ride for me though, man, that shit was tough, dog. I think we left like during the day. So, but
And no
we
phone
got to
either.
Paris Island. No, no, no.
No
We
phone.
stopped.
No
We
phone. You didn't have no
Oh, no
phone.
phone. Yeah, 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 no.
You
So
know
we
these
went to
motherfuckers get their
Paris
phone
Island.
now.
Huh? Yeah,
You
no.
know these
Yeah, no. We didn't have a
bullshit.
phone. So we went down to Paris Island on that bus. It was 19 of us, and we stopped to get something to eat. Then we kept going. We rolled through. We probably got to Paris Island at 2 in the morning. Remember, it's
Damn.
just us. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You see the videos of like people getting over at Paris Island shit. It's like 80 motherfuckers stand on the yellow footprints and shit. It's a big group of people, and then all the recruiters come out, all that bullshit, or the drill instructors come out, all that bullshit. Nah, bro. We went through that shit 2 o'clock. I never forget when we pulled up to the gate. Never forget when we pulled up to the gate. I was probably like middle of the bus and shit. And I was sitting on the side where the gate guards were. So I remember pulling up. The bus driver is like, "Hey, I'm telling y'all this right now. Put your head down." And he was like, "I'm trying to help you because when I get through this gate, somebody gonna come on here. Put your head down." And we're like, "What? My recruiter ain't tell me none of this. Why did I put my head down? That's weird." Man, we get to that freaking gate. That drill instructor pops on that bus. I'm talking about, bro. Was it raining? I think it was foggy for me when I came on to Paris Island. So it was ominous. I got the fog coming in and shit.
Yeah.
And as we coming through, I could see the dude just standing there. Just like he at the gate, bro. Think about like for people in the military. Imagine you pull up to the gate and it's a dude just right there. He gets on that bus, look like NBA YoungBoy and shit. Come on there, start yelling at us and shit, make us all put our head down and shit. And he's pacing up and down as we drop through the base. And when you think about it now, I was up, so I'm thinking about it now. And I'm like, nigga, how many turns did we make to get to where we needed to be? They took you the scenic route through Paris Island. Because I remember when I got off that base, it was a straight
one
fucking shot.
Yeah, it was a one shot. Yeah.
We went. They said take the scenic route, so you didn't know where you were. They want to make you discombobulated. You don't know where you were at, shit like that.
Exactly.
And man, when we got off that shit, man, with only like a couple of us there was still like 6-7 drill instructors there, just fucking us up from the moment we got off that bus. And I was talking about our shit. I'm talking we went to supply with just 15 of us, all that shit with just 15. Shit, I remember like by the time we got back to the spot to be like, we're done. You know what I'm saying? They put you in the room and you wait to get put in your platoon and shit. By the time we got done with that, it was daytime. So we just kept going. Like I probably went fucking like 30 something hours. No sleep. We just up. Just getting yelled at. Doing paperwork shit. Yeah. Oh my God, man. That shit sucked. That beginning like time at Paris Island sucked, but it got better over time.
So what was bugged out with me, because I know in MEPS, right, you have to do the crunches and you have to do the pull-ups, right? The minimum pull-ups was 3, right? All right. I was only doing 2.
Oh, damn. You was one of those?
Yeah.
Tragic.
But I could crunch like a motherfucker.
Said, I'm about to crunch.
I'll crunch like a motherfucker. All right. But pull-ups, couldn't do it. So I only did 2. And they were like, go ahead. Yeah,
they usually let it ride.
Yeah, they let it ride. They let it ride. They let me ride for 2. And I was like, all right, bet. So
because they just get you at the initial anyway.
Yeah. So freaking, and I did 2 at my initial one too. The IST I did 2, and they still let it ride. They still let it ride. Yeah. So
it's not until that first PFT, I think.
Yeah, it's the initial PFT where you have to do. I did 5 at that one.
Yeah.
So, but what's bugged out is that like the first month of me being in boot camp, like because you in the first week you're like in receiving first few days, and then that Black Friday, that first Friday you pick up and you get your drill instructors and shit like that, and all hell breaks loose, right? So
I got a child at the door.
Okay.
I don't know why I got a child at the door. What's up? What?
Hi.
This is Virginia, by the way. What's up? No. Hey, go out there and go see mommy, okay? Okay? Stay by the mat. All right, I'll see you later, okay? Go. Love you. Love you. All right.
He ain't gonna get it back.
Intermission break. But go ahead.
Yeah. No, but yeah, so like the first 2 days, my drill instructor, because you have 3, usually. You have your senior who basically plays mommy and daddy, your heavy who basically teaches you how to drill and gives you the knowledge, And then you have a kill hat. I don't know if they changed the terminologies now, but back in the day when we were in, it was a kill hat, and his sole purpose was to fuck you up for 3 months.
That's
Okay,
his only goal in life.
that was his only goal, was to break you down to see if you would quit. It's just to build character. Honestly, that motherfucker knew my name like government shit, and knew my mother. He like literally was like, "Oh yeah, I know your mother. Yeah, I know your mother, Carmen Cruz." I was like I didn't
In
show
your fucking soul, bro.
yeah, I didn't show like, I was shook, but I'm like in my, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how the hell? Right? So literally, like the first, I'll say like 5 to 7 weeks, 5 to 7 weeks, fucking me up. Like straight, and it was just me. Like his sole mission was to just to fuck me up, and I'm like, yo, what the hell did I do? I'm like, I wasn't the weak one, the weak link in the freaking platoon.
Yeah.
I knew my shit. I knew my general orders. Like I knew my knowledge. I knew how to drill. For the most part,
What the
like
fuck?
because you learn how to drill while you're in boot camp, and I wasn't like one of those motherfuckers that didn't know how to do it. You know, so, but it didn't matter. Oh, we getting fucking intensive training. We getting IT. Get your ass on the quarter deck,
Come on,
Cruz. I
Cruz.
was like,
Get up.
hey, getting that sandpit, Cruz. I was like, what the fuck am I like?
Yeah.
So I'm over here in my bed, contemplating life. It was to the point that this motherfucker IT'd me intensive training in the dark, and that was not allowed.
That's a no-go.
he's like, bitch, shut the fuck up. I was like, what the hell is going on? And then, of course, just my fucking luck, I get all 4 wisdom teeth taken out in boot camp. Yeah.
Hey, use one of those too?
Yeah.
That sucks,
yeah.
man.
Bullshit. Motherfucker.
Sucks.
And then, mind you, because when you get wisdom taken out in boot camp, you're not supposed to be screaming. They tell you, shut the fuck up. You're on light duty. You can't do shit. Nope. He had me screaming, all this and the third. I had to go back to dental because I had dry sockets, which prolonged my shit. Though, like boot camp for me sucked because like the first month, I ended up falling off the obstacle course, landed on my back, right? I'm losing weight. I'm coughing up, and I think it's just because the environment like that. Come to find out, I got walking pneumonia.
Yeah.
To the point it was so bad that I had so much fluid in my lungs, and then we're going to swim week, and they're like, "Hey, we don't recommend you getting in that pool." I was like, okay, so if I don't get in that pool, what happens? They're like, yeah, we're gonna have to drop you, and you're gonna just probably go to another platoon afterwards. So, but you're gonna stay on the same training day. It's just so that way you can get better. So I was like, hold up. So, what are my options really? He's like, okay, you can either go in the pool, do a swim call, and there might be a chance, you might end up harming yourself because you have so much liquid in your lungs. The pool water is not going to it's not going to benefit your health at this point. So he's pretty much basically saying you can die, motherfucker. Or you could just, say I tap out, drop, and then you go to another platoon, but you'll graduate another day, like a later day. So I was like, my day says May 9th. I'm leaving May 9th.
I plan on walking the fuck up out of here.
Yeah, fuck what you got to say. I'm not staying any longer. So I got in that pool. I literally lost so much weight, they couldn't take blood from me, and they needed my blood. They were like, yo, you're iron solo. I weighed 160 pounds going in. Came out that bitch weighing 115. Yeah, because the walking pneumonia.
My man was dying.
Yeah, it was bad. They had to put me on double rations because my kill had, he was just singling me out. Every time I sit down to eat, you're done. I didn't even get to eat. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he hated everything about you, bro.
I was like, all right, man, whatever. Come to find out, I was like, yo, because what was crazy is that the shit that was going down in boot camp, like the screaming, the yelling, all the shit throwing out, best in that third, blase, didn't faze me. I was like, this is just a regular motherfucking weekend for me in my house. Oh,
I'm used to this.
Because I was really used to it because my mom would literally go into my room because of course I have Marcus in my room and that motherfucker really didn't want to clean the room like that. She would literally go in my room and empty out every fucking thing. She would tornado my room. Like a tornado hit my room.
My man said, I'm used to this. Normal
Yeah,
day
I'm
for
like, oh,
me.
this regular Tuesday for me and my crib. Like the fuck. And it's bugged out because it's like, oh, motherfuckers didn't know how to iron, they didn't know how to do
Yeah.
laundry, but they knew how to do all that. Shout out to moms and shit and pops. So I was like already accustomed to like they couldn't break me, and that's the whole thing. They try to break me. I'm like, yeah, you're not finna
Break me,
break
dog.
me.
Can't
You
break
can't
me,
do
bro.
it. Did I hate life? Fuck yes, I hated life. But they didn't break me, and I ended up I'm going through it. But on family day, because went through all that Thursday before you graduate, family day. That's when you get all your family and stuff. They come and see you after 3 months. I'm over here telling my dad what happened. I didn't tell anybody because I'm over here getting
He
my
said,
ass
I gotta tell
whooped.
somebody about
I'm
this.
getting punched and shit. Like, because my dad's because I'm like, "No, I need to get the fuck up out of here. I want to go.
He said, dog, this is it. I gotta go.
I'm like, I
Can't
want to
do this.
go. And then he's like, oh, what happened? Like, because
So,
he was like, he could tell something was going on. And I was like, look, this is what's been going down. And then he's like, oh, for real? Yeah, you should ask your mother why. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, what are you talking about? And then he was like, oh yeah, all the shit that happened to you in boot camp, yeah, that's your mom. So I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, go talk to your mom, bro. I was like, all right. So I go talk to her. Come to find out, because my mom works at Home Depot. She's been at Home Depot for
yeah,
for
yeah,
years. And Home Depot, you know, they are real big on hiring veterans.
yeah.
Come to find out, her coworker was a Marine veteran that had a boy that was on Paris Island as a drill instructor who happened to be my fucking kill hat. And of course, again, like I said, my mom was really overprotective with us, and I'm the oldest. So she's going into work, bawling her eyes out, crying, worrying about me, all this and the third. Dude says, oh, don't worry, your son's going to be taken care of. Oh, yeah, I got taken care of real fucking good. Yeah. So all this shit that popped off that didn't have
Ah,
to happen
shit.
was because of my mom's.
God
But
damn. Get
yeah,
fucked.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, dog, it's like it's always like some crazy shit, boot camp. I don't know what it is about the DIs and shit. Gotta get one of my boys on here one of these days or DI, bro. Cause like I'll do my random fucking boot camp story and then how I graduated and then we'll move on to the next thing. But we so my random story was my not kill, not kill, the drill one, the
Heavy,
knowledge
heavy,
hat.
heavy. Okay,
Knowledge hat, second dude.
okay.
He fucking hated everything about me, but when I figured it out a little later because he was black and he was salty. So he was a sergeant, 3 hash marks. If you don't know, that means the motherfucker been in for 12 years.
He's so
My
sorry.
senior was barely in over 5. So I don't know what happened with him and why he kept getting in trouble and shit like that, and why he stayed a sergeant for so long. But it is what it is. But he was highly decorated, been in for a very long time, just a war hero type of dude. You know what I'm saying? He was in 2001 as a sergeant.
Right.
So he was crazy. Like dude was bad shit. I don't know what was going on with him. But he was black, skinny dude, tall dude, and he had it out for the brothers, man. I'm talking about anytime one of us got in trouble. Mind you, my boot camp platoon was probably like 6 of us, black guys.
Yeah.
Anytime one of us got in trouble, his first thing, go get your homies, meet me at the pit. So that was all the black guys to meet him at the pit. So if one black dude got in trouble, all
We
of us
all
got in
got some
trouble.
help.
So
Yeah.
he was just messing us up on a day to day. And then I remember like one day, I remember him. He actually did break me. I'll never forget that shit. He had me like carrying around this like body bag, like double that we used to you do the bayonet stuff with. So the
No,
thing was
yeah.
heavy as hell. Remember, I'm like 115, and then he got me carrying this thing around. He had me carry this thing around for over a mile, and we didn't even use it. He just had me carrying it just because he knew I wasn't gonna make it. And he literally, I'll never forget it, dog. I'm talking, it was pouring down rain, and he was just like, just fucking quit. Just quit. Just quit, Siebert. Because nobody called me by my real name. They just called me by Siebert or Sherbert or something. They always fucked it up on purpose. He was like, just quit. Just quit. And I literally fucking like yelled at him and shit and cursed his ass out and said I wouldn't quit and all that other shit. I thought that would get him off my back. It did not. So he just kept fucking with me throughout the time, and then swim call, bro. Swim call, bro. Listen, boot camp for me. Yeah, I was small, but I did well. I was never really a good runner, but pull ups, crunches, shooting, CFT, hiking, Gucci, no
Yeah.
issues. Swim call. Oh my god, somebody should have told me about this before I went, bro. It shouldn't have been a thing to where I know why my recruiter did it, but damn, bro, you should have told me, dog, because that shit sucked. I showed up.
That shit was easy for me, man.
Yeah, well, I did not swim.
Mind you, I
I
had
couldn't
walking
even.
pneumonia. That was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
it's a
You about to
breeze.
die.
Yeah, this
I
is a
was
breeze
healthy
to
as
me.
a bitch, healthy as an ox, and couldn't do it. So they come up, they get me. They tell you the whole thing about the pool, and they get you to the edge. Shit, they're like, get in, and I'm like, I guess. And dude's like, I don't care, get in, and I'm like, all right. So this is only like 5 feet or something. So we get in, and he's like, swim, bitch. So try to swim, don't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to swim like 25 meters while touching the bottom. So I ain't go nowhere. They pull me out and shit. So they're like, all right, we're gonna be teaching you guys how to swim throughout this whole process. The Iron Ducks.
Oh, you're an iron
My
duck.
brothers out there. You know what it is. So they're trying to teach us how to swim. Pretty much what it is, they give you a week. They give you the swim week, because that's what it's called. It's called
Yeah,
swim
swim
week.
week.
You
Yeah.
got a week. If you finish it on day one, you're pretty much done for the week and you do other stuff. Or whatever. God damn. Jesse. So, if you finish, then you're finished and you can go on about your life. But if you're not, go to the pool every freaking day. And you're trying to swim. Listen, I went all the way to Saturday.
Oh my
Couldn't do it.
god.
So I got past the initial 25, but the diving thing was messing me up really bad. And it wasn't the jumping. Like, I wasn't afraid of heights. I just was afraid of the water at the bottom. So, and usually what happens when I dove in, I just panicked and I couldn't finish. So we're going. I got these fundamentals like to swim the initial 25. So Saturday comes out. My fucking knowledge hat black guy, he's like, Seabird, Saturday, the reckoning day. Won't pass. And I was like, yeah, well, you say yeah. And he's just like, I fucking doubt it. And then he's like, where's your boy at? Because there's another guy with me, a black guy. He's like, where's your boy at? You gonna pass? I fucking doubt it. He was like, check this out. If y'all don't pass, y'all just gonna make life easier on me. So just help me out and don't come back. So
shit.
that was the encouragement we were getting. But so he's dogging us to shit. And then he was like, make sure you got your shit together. And so they take us to the pool, right? Take me to the pool. At this moment, that's when I found out that I would get dropped. Start, a cycle later, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like you. I had a graduation date. I wasn't staying past that shit.
Exactly.
So I get in that pool, bro. I start going like a motherfucking dolphin in that bitch. The initial 25, no issues. Dove, swam, no issues.
Float.
Now we get to the bag thing where you have to swim with the bag.
Oh, okay.
And so I never got this far, by the way. So I didn't know what to do with the bag. And I couldn't do the side thing or nothing like that. So I ended up getting on the bag, and like my back and the bag was above me, and I was like making love to the bag. I looked like Genuine when he was doing the thing. But I was making love to that motherfucking bag, bro. And by this point, everyone was there at the pool. Like my series commander, the company commander, the first sergeant, everybody in this bitch.
So everybody that's in high, yeah.
The female side was there too. So the female gunny was there, the first sergeant for them, and the OIC. So because we were swimming with females too. So everybody here at this point, I look up, who there? My motherfucking knowledge hat. He's in the pool with his full uniform on. Tammy's. He is in the fucking pool, bro. Looking at me. Shit on his head, everything, just looking at me. He's like, you better keep fucking that bag, Seabird. Yo, he was like, I don't know why you doing this type of shit. in front of Gunny, what the female Gunny and the female first sergeant and their OIC. He's like, I don't know why you doing this nasty shit in front of them, but you better keep fucking it. So we swimming. I get through it. I do the thing,
The
the
flow and
golf
shit, yeah.
simulation. So I pass. I pass all this. And my boy passes too. So we both pass on the last day. Mind you, my heavy was in the pool. Full camis in the pool. Right? We get out, we change, we head back to the fucking
Squad bear.
yeah, squad bear. He there in a new uniform, dry as a bitch, standing next to our racks with our bags packed. They packed our shit.
Oh shit.
Yes, dog. I'm talking. We showed up. Our bags were packed in front of our rack. Like it was. They was had no, not even in front of our rack. They were on like the quarter deck,
Oh
ready to
yeah.
go. Like
Go.
get your shit. Bye.
Get the fuck out. Yeah.
He's standing next to him and shit in the middle of the shit. He's like, "Yeah, motherfuckers, you thought it was sweet. Get your shit. Get back to the rack." And he's in a whole new uniform. We still wet. How are you dry already? I don't know how he did it. I don't know the magic that he did to get in a new uniform. Because I think he was in like Charlie's or some shit, like his dress uniform, ready to
Yeah.
go. So, but
We're
nah,
gonna have to
he was
we're
he
gonna have
was
to hit up G for that one. We're gonna have
dog.
to
He
have
was
G on for
fucking
that.
us up on a day to day. But come to think about it, at the end, Family Day for me. Family Day for me was kind of cool because my family actually showed up. It was kind of lit. I don't know why my kids are like this. So Family Day, can you hear that knock?
No.
Oh shoot, great microphone. So Family Day for me, they show up. All my family shows up. I think my girlfriend at the time and her family showed up, so everybody shows up. My grandmother shows up too.
Damn,
So
the whole
we
family.
all show up at the time, what I'm saying? We're lined up outside, you're about to walk into that main building to, present yourself to your family and stuff like that. My grandmother at the time, she passed away, but at this point, she was like in the little electric wheelchair shit, little scooters.
Yeah.
And she had this annoying ass chihuahua that she used to keep with her at all times. But it was in a basket in front of the little scooter. So imagine a little short little black woman riding around that little thing with a little chihuahua in the basket. So she get out her truck. Remember, she handicapped, so she parked close. And I'm pretty sure she parked where she won't supposed to. So she pull up where we at. She get out on the scooter, riding down the fucking sidewalk. Where my baby at? Curtis. That's all I hear, dog. I'm standing there. I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. And my sister there too, and she's pregnant. So she's waddling next to her. I'm like, Curtis. That's all I hear. My heavy come out. And my senior. So they all walk around. They're like, who fucking grandmother is that? That better not be one of y'all. So what do? Not say a goddamn thing. I ain't say shit. All I hear is Curtis. And then my senior walked over to her. He's like, "Oh, ma'am, who you looking for?" She was like, "Oh, I'm looking for my grandchild, Curtis." She was like, "Oh, what's his last name?" She was like, all I heard was, "Oh, it's Cybert." My heavy. He hit you one of these one of those quick like snap dudes. He was like,
Fucking
Seabird.
Seabird.
And they pulled me out, and I went over there. Like it was cool though. They pulled me out, and I went over there, like gave her a hug and shit like that. And like they let me do it. They let me give her a hug and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I think the worst part about the whole thing was that I was the last platoon in the company, so
Yeah.
right behind us were the females. So like I was just getting laughed at and giggled at by all the females. Mind you, my last name's Cyber, so I'm in a backpack. I had nothing but females behind me. They're drill instructors and shit. They laughing at me and shit. Look at this mama's boy out here and shit. I'm like, I ain't gonna get no pussy after this. But it was cool though, man. I think Family Day was pretty lit because, like I said, my whole family showed up for that one. They was real excited and shit to see a boy finally make it. But kind of find out at the end of it, I talked to my heavy. I talked to him at the end, and he's like, man, I gotta tell you right now, why I did what I did. What? Why? He was like, you reminded me of me. He was like, skinny kid, just small black kid trying to fucking make it through. I was like, I wasn't gonna give you no easy pass, bro. If you want to make it, you got to be resilient and push through. Because I promise you, Nobody's gonna give you a handout, especially the black ones. And I was like, damn, that's pretty fucking deep, bud. And I never forgot that. That whole no one's gonna give you a handout, especially the black Marines. They're not gonna give you a handout. And I lived by that the whole time. That I was just like, and it's funny too to think about. The most people that try to fuck me over were black Marines. They weren't white.
That's
They were
crazy.
black.
That's
The
crazy.
most people to try to fuck me over. So, but yeah, my heavy just said I look like him, and he hated it. So he said, "Fuck him." He literally said, "Fuck him," and fuck me too. So it was crazy time, man. Boot camp was crazy. It was fun though. Fun though. Please
No,
make
yeah.
make me
If
make me
I,
think it
it's
was.
funny because people ask like, "Oh, would you do it again?" In a heartbeat, I'll do it again. Fuck it.
Would I do what again?
Boot camp.
Boot camp? No, I
Yeah.
wouldn't do it again.
I mean, I would do it again.
I'll do the Marine Corps again.
No,
I
I'm
wouldn't
saying
skip
like,
that part.
okay, I'm saying like, if you can go back, that's what I'm saying. Like people would
No,
ask, if you can go back and change your decision from joining, would you change it or would you do it?
I'm not doing boot camp. Hey, listen, if I can skip boot camp, I'll do the Marine Corps again. I'll do that all over again. I'm not going back to boot camp. Ain't no way. Fuck, am I going back?
I mean, later on it did get
No, because
fun. It got
I will
fun.
actually have to swim to
Go
go back.
back. That's you. I
And I ain't
mean,
going back.
I'll
I
do it
can barely
again.
swim now, even being in that long. Still barely do it. I'm not going back. No. Take out swim call, I'll go back. Take out swim call, I'll go back.
So why do you think the military gets like such a bad stigma? Like, don't understand it. So because like my wife's a Marine recruiter right now, mind you, we are not at wartime. So when we went in, we were still touring Afghan, still touring Iraq and shit like that. Fighting the good fight. But now we at peacetime. It's to the point now that new Marines, they don't even get a ribbon or get a medal that we like the National Defense, or is it the GWAT? Or is it's the National Defense
Yeah. National
ribbon.
Defense, you don't get that anymore.
Yeah, they don't even get it anymore because we're not at wartime
They
anymore.
already got rid of GWAT.
Yeah, because and people out in the world, they're still like shitting on like they're so close minded and they don't even get the information. And it's like it's just mind boggling to me. It's like, how can you be so close minded? At least get some information. No, ain't nobody telling you to come in, sign some shit, or sign your life away. You know what I'm saying? It's just to get information. Like I thought, if you would want to educate yourself, if there's an opportunity for you to better yourself and better your life, why wouldn't you want that information?
I think that's what it's about. It's all about the information that people just don't have it. People just, and they don't want to take the time out to look at it. Because, I mean, I was probably had the same stigma. I didn't know what I was getting myself into when I first did it. I'm just thinking, oh, we going out there to do shoot and kill. That's all we doing. But people just don't want to take the time out to understand that it's not all about that. We're not dumb. That's what a lot of people also think of too, that we're just too dumb to go to college. Like, it's not that. It's not the case. My brother didn't go to college. He was a nuclear engineer. Still has the credentials to a nuclear engineer. Nuke. He did that and he didn't pay a dime. So, how can you say he's stupid for doing what he did to get those type of credentials that he would pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to get if he didn't do the military to do it? You know what I mean? So it's something that people just don't want to take the time out to research or look it up to validate half the stuff we talk about. Don't get me wrong. There are guys, there are women, there are people in the military that are out there slaying, doing that type of stuff that you see on movies and TV, on the news, that type of stuff they want to put out in the news on you because they want you to have that stigma about the military. But the majority of us, we ain't doing that.
We had regularized jobs. I mean, I was in a fucking warehouse.
I was working in an office, typing up. I was a teacher for a couple of years. I'm teaching kids. Like, what do you mean? Like, we're not doing that all the time. And people just don't want to either accept that or just acknowledge the fact that that's how it is.
It's like the one thing that pisses me off is that like that whole crayon eaters shit. Like, it's okay if I say that shit to you, like, oh, we so dumb that we eat fucking crayons. Like the Marines are like probably like the smartest ones.
We have
like one of the smartest.
We have one of the highest ASVAB things that you need to join the military.
Exactly. So it's like that whole stereotype, that whole freaking like that stigma, like, oh yeah, Marines are dumb. No, the fuck we're not. We're
Because
not
we the
fucking dumb.
best.
Yeah.
DJ Khaled told me that. I do believe though a lot. It's just the media stigma of a Marine. I mean, bro, when I told my mom that I was joining the Marine Corps, my mom lost her mind. She was like, you gonna want to go out there and go kill people and all that other stuff. I was like, whoa, 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 trying to be a cop. What you mean? Relax. Well, I mean, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
chill. And but that's all she thought. That's all she could believe. That's all I was doing. Now, don't get me wrong. I did go on my deployment, my combat deployment, and I did my thing, but it wasn't like that at all. I worked on an airfield for the entire time.
Yeah.
I got a couple of rounds shot by. I had a rocket, a little close call, but it wasn't nothing like I'm laying rounds down or I'm really like doing crazy stuff like that.
Like you're in
That
the action. Like you're not in
Yeah,
the
like
action.
people really
Exactly.
thought, bro. I never even got in a truck the entire time. The convoys and stuff, never did that. Why need to be
Yeah.
in a convoy? I work on the airfield. I'm flying. We helos. We flying over the action.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of how people just believe it to be. Like as soon as you hear the word, and the funny part, you hear the word Marine, that's what people think about. Mind you, what does fucking Marine mean? Mean water, dog. Like, what do you mean? Like, we on the water. That's what we supposed to be doing. But people don't automatically believe that. Like, think about that.
Yeah.
I talk to people all the time about me being on ship, and they're like, well, ship, I thought you were in the Marines. Do you not know what Marine means?
Yeah. Marine life is motherfucking
I'm
sea
on the
life.
sea. I'm in the sea, bro. I'm out here.
Yeah.
Say that was the job. That's the job description. Land, air, and sea.
Yeah.
So, and most people just kind of, I mean, think about that. Yeah, like most of my career, if you look at my deployments, I was at sea more than the Afghan thing. I was at sea for 13 months. And
Exactly. See what I'm
then,
saying? So it's like, and then on top of that, like, so I remember when I told my mom that I wanted to join the Marine Corps, she was like, "Why the Marines? Not the Army. Why don't you want to be a soldier and shit like that?" And I told her, I'm like, well, shit, if I'm gonna join a fucking branch, I'm gonna join the best one. Shit, like only 1% of U.S. population
yeah,
is
everybody know
Marines,
what it is.
and shit, I'm that 1%. So ain't listen, ain't nobody can take that shit away from me.
Everybody know what it is. You can be in a room full of soldiers, full of soldiers.
Yeah,
You say Marine and they know what it is. They just kind of
exactly.
like, all right, man, yeah, man, Marine Corps. You can't argue the fact that everyone just sees the Marines as just a higher thing. I'm not gonna say like Army don't have the good people or the
No,
Navy.
they do.
Never
We're not
doubt
here
that.
to. We're not here to shit on any
No,
other
because those
branch.
are the
We're not.
homies.
Yeah,
Those are the
exactly.
homies.
Yeah,
But
we're gonna little brother them though. We're gonna little
bro,
brother
you
them.
can't win the argument. You can't win the argument. No matter what you do at any branch, you can't win it. Sorry. All I gotta do is pull that blues coat out the back. You're not gonna win that. You're not winning
Yeah,
that argument.
we do have the
So,
sexist uniform.
so it's a pretty crazy thing to think about that. That's just how people just see that word, and automatically believe that this is what it is, but it really isn't, man. Like, yeah, I did my deployment, Afghan thing. It was stressful, but I was on the airfield. I was loading helicopters and sending stuff to people back and forth. I was in a little fob. Had some little rounds fly by or anything like that, but it was nothing crazy. Like
Yeah,
we were just still working in the airfield, sending people back and forth. Matter of fact, half the time I was working at the airfield supplied the local hospital for the civilians that got hurt in combat situations.
yeah,
So, I'm taking people off helicopters that were like friendly fire or crossfire, some shit like that. They weren't even military personnel. I'm taking off civilian men and women, children that I'm taking out to go to a hospital. That's what I was doing. I was even, what I'm saying, we were in that combat. I didn't even see my homies go down like that. We just kind of, that's not true, but that's a different situation. But that was my primary job, was to do stuff like that. And I only did that for what, 3-4 months. And
yeah,
then I'm not even gonna talk about shit. Hey, bro, I'll probably do shit in my like ship story another time, because my ship life story was a cruise. Hate to break it down like that, but
yeah,
it was.
yeah. We ain't gonna talk about that right now. But shit,
I
like,
saw the world for free. So it's
but yeah, like honestly, like joining the military is probably like the best thing I did for myself. And
absolutely.
what's crazy is that like I was a domino effect because I joined, and
Yeah,
then a year later,
your brother
my
joined.
brother joined, and
Now,
then Max joined, and now Mason's like, I don't want to go to college after high school. I want to do this. I want to join. So it's like
come on, Matt.
four out of the five want to join. To the point that is like my mom is like, hey yo, we need to get compensated because we just giving y'all nothing.
Yo,
We
facts,
just
bro.
giving y'all.
Moms need to get compensated because
Yeah,
she giving out numbers
yeah,
to the
exactly,
cause.
exactly. So it's
Nah, I
just
feel that, man.
I just
I
find it
feel
just
that.
real funny because like we'll get to it later, like the benefits of joining and stuff like that on another day.
But
But
yeah, man,
what
it's
was the
crazy.
reason? What was the reason? What made you get out? What was the reason? The reasonings or reasons or
Yeah. So
because I know you did a lot more than I did. I only did four. You did
yeah,
how many? 11?
11.
Right. Yeah. So,
Almost. It was like 10 in like 10 months.
oh,
But
10 and three quarters.
yeah, I was close. But honestly, man, well, off rip in the beginning, there was never a plan to stay in that long. It was only a plan to stay in for 4. I had no intentions on doing that shit. I thought that I would do 4, then go to school and do, what a lot of people say they're gonna do and stuff like that. But I had so much fun that first 4 years. That's where I did all my deployments. I went Afghan, went on ship, did all that in the first 4. So I was like, man, fuck it. I gotta try it again. Then I got stationed at Cherry Point. And that kind of stopped a lot. And I was like, oh shit, this ain't really what I thought it would be, huh? And but I met my wife and I had a kid, had a family. So then I was like, man, fuck it, man, I'll just keep going for that. And the reason why I got out was because of the injury. I mean, that's probably the best clear cut thing I could say is that the injury I had, that nerve damage came into play. I knew it was never gonna get better, and I just couldn't push through the pain. Like I just could not do it. I tried to run, I tried to hike, I tried so hard to push through the pain. I just couldn't fucking do it. And as I was trying to get better, I was only getting slower or weaker over the time because I just wasn't at the peak that I was. And by the time I'm 27, so I'm like, I'm already starting to drop down from my prime because my prime and for me in the military was like 23 to 25. Like you couldn't tell me shit at that point.
Yeah.
But at this point, especially when you start having the kids, I start really slowing down because you don't focus on family shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it really slowed down for me. And I was thinking that now at this point in my life, I can get out right now, never have to leave my kids again, ever. My oldest saw me leave for a couple months. It wasn't nothing crazy. I just went to the field. But she saw me leave when she was like maybe 1, not even 1. And I'll never forget when I came home, she didn't know who the fuck I was. Never forget it. Like she cried, screamed as soon as I tried to touch her. And all I could think about the whole time I was gone was her. And when I got to her, she didn't know who I
Yeah.
was. And
And that
I
happens a
never
lot.
wanted to do it again, man.
That
Yeah, man.
happens a lot.
I never wanted to do it again. Like that feeling of my child didn't know who I was, or my child was afraid of me, or even my child missing me. I ain't want it. I was like, nah,
Yeah.
fuck all that. So I had an opportunity to step away without, no repercussions, with I didn't get in trouble, nothing like that. I was able to just walk away, get disability, and be able to stay with my kids forever. I don't have to leave them again. Couldn't pass up that opportunity, bro. Like I could not be like, nah. Don't get me wrong, like I did want to push it. I did.
Yeah.
I wanted to stay in, bro. I mean, I was already at 11. I could do the rest. But I just didn't want to leave my kids again, man. Like I love my kids. The pain was too much and it hurt. And then the feeling of me possibly hurting my kids on top of that, I'm good. I'll let it go. I walk away. So it sucked. It did. But I think it's better for me, especially since my nerve damage isn't gonna get better. If anything, it's just gonna get worse. So I have a less chance of re-injuring that shit and making it worse faster than what it's gonna be. And then, of course, now I don't have to leave my kids anymore. So
That's what's up.
see my kids.
So I just want to tell, anybody that listens to this, not everybody's military experience is not the same. Okay.
Results may differ.
Yeah, results.
That should be the model.
Yeah. Results may vary. Right. So the way it goes when you join the Marine Corps, you go to boot camp, you go to MCT for Marine Combat Training. Basically, because they have the slogan, every Marine is a rifleman. So you have to learn how to use your rifle in a sense.
Combat training.
And then you go to your schoolhouse to learn your job. So this stood with me like the minute I heard it. So I was in receiving for schoolhouse, and the receiving instructor for my schoolhouse, he did us, because there's like 30 of us, and we're just like sitting down, and he's like, if the Marine Corps wanted you to have a family, they would have issued you one in boot camp. Mind you, I'm single, ready to mingle. I ain't worrying about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So, but that shit hit deep. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Like, if the Marine Corps wanted you to have a family, they would have issued you one at boot camp. So I was like, all right, bet. So fast forward, like a year and a half later, I ended up getting with Myra, end up having Malachi, and then 2016, she gets the opportunity to deploy. I told her off rip, go ahead, like
do your thing,
do your thing, go be great, go be somebody, go do something legendary. So she goes, and it's just me and Malachi, and he's not even a year yet. He's turning one in a couple of months, because she left, I think, in April or May. No, April. She left in April. Yeah, she left in April. So and again, the reason why I say not everybody's military experience is the same, it just depends on the leadership and the people that are like that you're around. Because my leadership, they sucked fucking ass, because they knew. It's not like it was a shot in the dark, or they were in the dark, or they didn't get the information, because I kept that line of communication with them frequently. I'm like, hey, my wife's leaving. They even knew my wife, because she was always around. They knew her. They knew that she was going on deployment. They knew I did not have anybody to help. It was just me and Malachi, right? So, like, literally, like the first 2 months, because I'm a corporal, and they're like, hey, PT, 5:30 in the morning. I'm not going to be there. Why the fuck not? Because the CDC, which is the daycare on base, doesn't open up until 6. That's okay. Bring Malachi and put him in the shoulder. It is 40 degrees outside. You got me fucked up.
Bro,
that's not happening.
PT to 6:30.
I'm like, that's not happening. That's not happening. I'm not doing that. I'm like, if y'all want, y'all could PT me during my lunch break, but I'm not going to have my son out there suffering because y'all want to be fucking ignorant. That's not happening.
Yeah, my 1-year-old son.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not going down like that. They literally try to fight it to me, to the point that a sergeant, that's not even my sergeant, because supply, you have warehouse clerks who are 51s and supply admin. They basically do all the paperwork side of the shit. That motherfucker literally came with me to drop off my son because he didn't believe me. I'm like, I am a grown fucking man with a child. You live in the barracks still. The fuck? So that's strike one. Because at that time, it's 2016, I'm getting close to my date to get the fuck out. So I'm still deciding if I'm gonna like re-enlist or I'm gonna get out. So then strike two is I get a call from the daycare. Hey, Malachi, 101 fever. He hasn't really ate, hasn't really slept. We need you to pick him up, and he can't come in tomorrow because he went over that 100, the 100 degree for the fever. So he's gonna have to not come in tomorrow either. I'm like, okay, fine. Talk to my gunny sergeant. I was like, hey, I need to go pick up Malachi. He has 101 fever, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. Okay, go pick him up and bring him back. Wait, what are you talking about? Go get your son and bring him back to work. We in a warehouse. There's asbestos in one of the spots. He has 101 fever. Yeah, but we need you. We have an inspection coming up. I'm like, there's more than enough Marines that are capable to do the job. Like my son needs me. It's kind of counterproductive. Like I'm not gonna give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about what I got to do for job work wise. Like my son needs me. The fuck. And mind you, was mind boggling to me. He had 4 kids, 4 fucking kids. So it's like I'm trying to like fight. I'm like, yo, like my son needs me, and you have 3 sons. Matter of fact, you have all 4 boys. You have 4 sons. I'm like, you have 4 boys. So if you're telling me your son needs you, you're not gonna be there for him. But yeah, but we need you. You need to be at work. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. So I went and picked him up. I came. That motherfucker did not let me leave until 6 o'clock in the evening time. Malachi is in the fucking car seat, walling out in the office. And then it was like a constant thing because like when with the daycare is like, when you have babies and like they have that teeth and they start the biting. If they bite another kid and they break skin, it's mandatory pickup. So there was times where Malachi was getting bit, but he would bite back. And I'd have to pick his ass up. So it was to be the point, I'm like, you know what, fuck this. So they kept on doing this to me. I'm like, fuck this. So the last time I picked him up, I had him in the warehouse with me while I was counting, doing inventory. First sergeant comes in the warehouse. Cruz, what the fuck is your son doing in this warehouse? Go talk to gunnery sergeant. First sergeant. That's something just like that. You might want to talk to gunnery sergeant about that. Not even 10 minutes later, Cruz, take your son, go the fuck home.
Oh no shit, right?
I'm like, why does it have to why has to go to that extreme? So at that time, I was already dealing with, because I was a single parent at the time because my wife's on deployment, full-time fucking job in the Marines. And then on top of that, my dumbass was trying to do school as well. So I was a full-time student. And I got to take care of the house. I got to take care of Malachi. And I'm trying to take care of me. Just everything just crumbles. And everything just, it's like a snowball effect. I just was real depressed during that time. Did not want to do shit. I remember like my parents came down while Myra was on deployment to come see me. The house was so fucked up. Like my mom was cleaning and shit. And then my dad's like, yo, why are you cleaning for him? And my mom knew. Like I didn't have to say shit. She already knew it. She was like, yeah, like he's going through something. Yeah. So I would just remember this conversation I had with my OIC, my officer in charge. And I was explaining to him, I'm like, yo, like, y'all know I need help. Y'all know it's just me and my son. And y'all dogging me and y'all making my life way more difficult than what it has to be. Like, I don't understand it. And I said to me, stop acting like a fucking female. He's like, you're literally making excuses like a female.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
God, man.
Mind you, he has a family and he has kids.
Fucking military dudes, man.
But you see, but this is the thing. Shit. But see, this is the thing that kind of pisses me off, and this is why, like, I applaud my wife so much. A lot of the times, like, because the Marine Corps is a male dominant branch, so my wife had to climb up that ladder to get that respect that she fucking deserves, But for me to be told that shit, I was like, wow, got it. You're really gonna do that? You're gonna compare my situation to stop being a female? No, like having to deal with that. I understood, like, yo, like y'all be shitting on these females, and it's not even that big. Like the shit that they do is not major. Like what they do, I applaud every single female that had to go through that shit. Dealing with a military spouse, because I dealt with that shit, and that shit was rough.
Yeah,
mind you, we were dual military.
Yeah.
But then after I had that conversation with him, you know what came back in my fucking my crawl space in my head? If the Marine Corps wanted you to have a family, they would have issued you one at boot camp. So at that time, after that conversation, made my decision. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting the fuck out. Fuck this shit. Because I was like, you know what? Clearly, because the supply community, it doesn't matter where the fuck you go, it's all the same at that time. So I was like, because that's what they were like, kept feeding me. Oh, it's not going to be the same when you go to a different location. It's not going to be the same. Yes, the fuck it is.
It's that experience, like, may differ. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different for every single fucking person.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, the fuck it is.
And it's so fucking sad because
So
like
and the thing is, it wasn't even like I was a bad Marine. Like, yeah, granted, like, my physical, like my PT wasn't up to like above
I mean,
average,
but you
but
should be treated differently because
it
you were
was
still a
there.
runner.
But ain't nobody couldn't tell me shit about my job.
Yeah.
Like I knew my job like the back of my fucking hand. Like it was to the point that people like they would have me instruct fucking officers how to do the job, how to do my job. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So after that, I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I don't need this. Malachi, my kid is way more important than this. I'm just a number. I'm replaceable. They have my replacement in boot camp right the fuck now. So I'm gonna get out. Myra did not want me to get out, but at the time I'm like, I have to. Like, there has to be there has to be a consistent thing. There has to be one of us has to be consistent in his life. And you're doing great things, and I'm not gonna knock you for it. Like, this is what you want to do. Go ahead and do it. I'm gonna support you 1,000%. Whatever you want to do, I support all of that shit. But I know if I stay in, it's gonna get dark. I'm already in the dark place. So fuck this.
Yeah, gotta get
So
out of there. Hey, the machine gonna keep going without you.
exactly.
Like you, it's sad to think about it like that, but it's true. I mean, you are very replaceable. Somebody's gonna come in and replace you right at the end, bro. I mean, think about it, bro. My replacement was already there when I got out.
Exactly.
Like they were there. They had people ready to roll. Like
Yeah.
the next one up. Like it's time to move. And that's kind of just how it goes, man. Like it's just so sad to hear shit like that, bro. My command was not like that at all.
And was
I had my
bugged.
first kid, they were all crazy supportive and
Yeah.
shit.
Not mine.
And after the fact, when Maria was having issues, like medical issues and shit, hey, bro, I gotta go back to the crib. My staff sergeant, my lieutenant, yeah, man, go do what you gotta do, pop out, and just let us know. There was never a time where it was like, oh, I have to bring my kid in because I'm doing something, whatever. No. It was like it was all good, man. Just take care of your child. And at the schoolhouse, it was even better at the schoolhouse. But at that point, we
Yeah.
were all staff NCOs. No one really gave a fuck.
Exactly.
But at junior Marine level, that
Yeah.
fucking E1 to E4 lifestyle, fuck that. Nobody give a fuck about you. You are a number to the T. You are so replaceable, and all they care about is you just doing your job. And I hate that. I mean, especially when you say, "Oh boy, had 4 kids." It's like I don't know what it was. Like that
And it
was
was
something I try to be better as a staff NCO. Like I try to
yeah.
remember who I was when I was a junior Marine. Like when I was young and had a young kid. You know what I'm saying? Like what they were going through at the time. But those old heads, they just forget or they just act like they didn't exist on like
Because
the stress it was.
the reason why nine out of the 10 of them, their wives are civilians and they're staying at home. So all they got to worry about and focus on is the job because the house and the kids are taken care of. And that's the situation. Both of the motherfuckers that was in charge of me, that was their situation. They had
They didn't
wives,
give a
they
fuck.
had kids that were staying home and taking care of them. They didn't have to go home and deal with all the they didn't come home from a long ass fucking day of work to go fucking cook. The food was already cooked and on the table for them. No, because again, dual active military. One of us came home early, and the one of us that did come home early, your ass was in that kitchen cooking.
So,
You know what I'm saying?
because I
So
mean that's how it is too. Like really think about that shit too, especially for those dudes. Those are the type of dudes that stay. They're like, oh, bro, yeah, we got to work till like 7, 8 o'clock at night. Bro, don't you
exactly.
got kids at home? Don't you want to go home? And they never want to go home. They never want to
Yeah,
go home.
no, he never wanted to go home.
See, I hate
Like,
that. I hate
like
that.
it made
Like
no
just
sense to
because
me.
your
I'm
life
like,
sucks at home,
exactly.
nigga,
Like
I
I
want to
want to
be
go
around
home.
my kids. Like I want to go
Exactly.
home. I hate that shit, bro. Like somebody did that shit at the schoolhouse with me, and we had a master sergeant that was doing that shit at the schoolhouse with when Myra was there, and he was the type of dude that just didn't want to go home, and he was always on that shit. They were like, "Oh, y'all can just stay later and shit like that." Stay later? Stay later for what? The students are back in their room, like their home. Why are we staying later for what? Like we have to get back up here and be over there at 5 o'clock in the morning to yell at them and PT with them and all that stuff. You don't come in 7 or 8. Like, why do
Exactly.
I have to stay in later because you come in later? That don't make no sense to me. Like, riddle me this. Why do I come in at 5 and I have to stay until 6 or 7 when you come in 2 hours later? That makes no sense to me. But
Yeah.
that's how people do, bro. And the fleet was even worse. I ain't gonna talk fleets. even
Yeah.
fucking worse because they act like shit can't be done tomorrow ever.
But what's crazy though is like I went through all of that, but it's like, when I sit down and I go back and think about like those 4 years, like it wasn't. I'm not gonna say all of it sucked because shit. If it wasn't
No,
for the if it wasn't for the Marine Corps, I wouldn't have fun. I would not have like relationships that I have now. I would not have met you. I would not have met Myra. I would not have Malachi and Malik. You know. So I'm grateful for all that. But when I think back of it, like I was destined to just do four and get the fuck out. Think about it. Like
yeah,
going to boot camp, pour down raining in boot camp. They try to break me. Granted, like, yeah, that's the main fucking mission is to try to break you because, again, only the elite top 1%
yeah,
are fucking Marines, you know? But then on top of that, I come back from boot camp and I go back to the recruiting station to go see my recruiters. And the first thing that came out their mouth was like, oh shit, you actually made it? Wow. So y'all were praying for my downfall from day one. Got it. Fucking noted. And then I had to deal with that bullshit in Cherry Point, you know? So it's like, I was
yeah.
like,
That was your first duty station,
yeah, it
right?
was my first duty station, and I'm dealing with all of that. Like, granted, and again, I'm not gonna play fucking victim. I was a very belligerent, obnoxious fucking Marine. I went against the grain 9 out of 10 times because, again, I'm a common sense oriented person, and it's like the perfect analogy that I give to people is like with the Marine Corps, how it was back then. The highest rank, you could be sitting down with all different types of rank, from the highest to the lowest, right? The highest rank will sit down, we're served soup, and that motherfucker starts eating his soup with a fork. Everybody will follow suit to what he's doing.
Yeah,
And me, one of the lower ranks, I'm looking at everybody like, what the fuck y'all doing? There's a spoon right here. We eat soup with a spoon. And I'm getting told, shut the fuck up and eat it with the fork. I'm like, it doesn't make sense.
yeah. Common
So is it
sense isn't a part of the military. That wasn't a part of the traits that you need as common sense because they don't want you to have it at first. They really don't. Think about all they is what is it? Instant obedience to all orders, instant obedience orders. They don't
yeah,
want you to think about it. They don't want you to fucking think. But it's a combat oriented. All that's combat oriented. That's all that's for.
right.
It's crazy that they make you do that. But in the fleet, you don't need that. You
Yeah,
need
it's
someone
common
who has
sense.
common sense. Of
Exactly.
course,
Because
in
I'm doing that
combat,
every day-to-day job.
yes, yeah, in combat, yes, you need that type of thing to where if somebody tells you to get up and
You need to
take that
just
fucking
off of
hill,
instinct. Yeah.
get up and go do it. I understand that, but
And I understood that too.
we
But
in
if
Cherry Point, North Carolina,
and
in a
I'm in a warehouse
non-deployable unit,
and I'm in a warehouse counting motherfucking cots and chairs and
bro,
motherfucking water tanks.
relax.
Like,
This shit not that real. I promise. So nah, man, I totally understand.
so
Nah,
I was like,
especially for you, man. Like if that was me in your situation, I would have got out too.
and
Like
it's bugged, and it was just the cherry on top, like the cherry on top of the
Cherry
fucking
Point.
cake, right? Because when you do your tour, wherever you're at, like regardless or not, like if you do 4 years at a station and you move on to the next thing in your life, either it be you getting out of the military, like the Marine Corps, and you're done, or you just switching to another unit because you re-upped, you usually get a going
Yeah,
away
that's
present,
right. Yeah, I
right?
remember.
These motherfuckers at my going away gave me a pair of roller skates on a bookshelf. And I'm not talking about like a brand new bookshelf. It was a beat down bookshelf that they got from the warehouse, from one of them fucked up bookshelves, and then just screwed the fucking roller skates to this bookshelf. And I didn't even get a placard. They just wrote in fucking Sharpie on the bookshelf, talking about how much that like I was a skater, like I didn't do my job. Mind you, all the motherfuckers that were there that was not a gunny, they learned how to do their job from me.
Yeah.
So I was like, the disrespect. I was like, you know what? I made the right decision.
Yeah. I
So the
mean,
minute I got my DD
it'd be like that.
214, I gave him that shit. I was like, fuck y'all.
Yeah. It'd be like that. I
Like
mean,
straight up.
I I wish I would have like looked back on like my first 4 years and realized like how much of a number I actually was. Because don't get me wrong, I had a lot of fun. I had so much fun my first 4 years. I had such a good freaking time, and I think that's what made me keep going. But my unit that I was a part of, especially the Mew, bro, they didn't give a fuck about me, bro. Not one fucking bit. I was like, actually like doing paperwork and stuff for them and stuff like that, like for a ship, for an individual ship. The group of us that were on that ship, I handled all the fucking paperwork for it, all the training paperwork. So I did all that, rosters, all that other bullshit. And I didn't get no respect for that shit. Like every other person from my section that was handling training for their ship got awards. I did not. Even though I finished before the rest of them, completed everything correctly before the rest of them. They just didn't give a fuck when I did it. And then I think the best part, the cherry on top for your boy, was that I had the staff sergeant. I don't want dog on him because he's Hispanic, but he was Hispanic. But he didn't speak a really good English, but what I'm saying, he was a staff sergeant, been in for a very long time. And I remember I got an award for this, like somebody made a mistake on ship and I pretty much fixed the whole thing. So I got an award for it. It wasn't it was just paper. But I got an award and they were presenting it to me. And this staff sergeant always had this thing of he never knew my name. He called me Siebert all the time. Like all the fucking time, dude. I'm talking about anytime we did roll, anytime he did it, he called me Siebert. Everyone else knew my name was Cybert, but he called me Siebert for whatever fucking reason. Mind you, I've been in this unit for almost a year and a half at this point, and he's still calling me Siebert. He ain't
Right.
calling nobody else that shit. The Spanish names, he be fucking rolling the R's and all that other shit, but he couldn't like
Side instead of C.
sigh. Like, are you serious? Like, so a year and a half. So, and there were other dudes with like Russian names that he knew perfectly. He just didn't fuck about me. So we're doing this shit. And like I say, he keeps calling me serious. And at this point, I'm correcting. At this point, I'm in the platoon. He's calling my name. It's cyber staffs aren't. He'd be like, oh, okay. And then keep going. But I'm doing this now. He's doing my award, bro. And he's reading it. He literally does. I present this award to Corporal Siebert. He literally stopped saying Cybert to change it to Siebert. Stopped in the middle of my award, and I lost it. Like, remember, this is an award, so I'm in front of the company at this point. This wasn't just my platoon. There was probably
Yeah.
like 100 people here. Like, the lieutenant colonel is giving
His
me this.
yeah.
He literally goes,
Side.
Siebert, lost it right there in the middle of the freaking thing. Front of my lieutenant colonel fucking lost my mind. I was like, you have got to be shitting me. Like, how? I've been in this unit for over a year and a half. And you still don't know my fucking name. Lost it. My lieutenant comes over. They end the thing. They was like, oh, whoa, whoa. Like, and we're like on a beach in a random country, and they're giving me this award in the middle of the night type of thing. And bro, they end that fucking thing. The gunny come and get me. My lieutenant come and get me. They all like pull me off to the side. First sergeant come and get me because I'm losing it. I was peaking, and I'm like, there's no fucking way that you don't know my name. Like, what is this disrespect in this bitch? And I lost. That was it. Like, completely fucking lost on this dude, bro. And you wanna know what's crazy about the whole thing?
Oh,
He still called me Siebert. Even after that, I remember my mom came right after the deployment. So this was after the deployment, right before I went to South America. My mom came, and this was like right around the time I was about to leave the unit and shit. And he saw my mom walk right by her, didn't say a fucking word. Because I brought her into the office and was showing like, yo, this is where I work at. These are my people, blah blah blah. My captain came out, my lieutenant came out. The red patch staffs aren't, because this was Motor T and Red Patch. We were together,
right.
TS. And my Red Patch staff sergeant came out, my Motor T OIC came out, and my Red Patch, OIC came out, and they were all talking to her shit. My Motor T staff sergeant, he walked right in that door. We're all right there, right by. Didn't say a fucking word. Not even to my mom, bro. She's civilian. Like, say something. Nope. He just saw it was me, didn't give a fuck. Kept going by the fight. And I was like, man, you can't trust nobody out here, bro. Ain't nobody give a fuck. Nobody give a fuck. But luckily for me, I re-up because I had a really good experience that first 4 years. Like, it was great. Like, it was great. Now, I'll tell you right now, if I went to Cherry Point first, I wouldn't have done it. There's no way in fuck I would have re-upped. And I always try to tell people, man, you got to try it again for your next duty station, right? You know, because you don't know what you're going to get the next time. But seeing how some people's duty stations went on that first 4 years, I can see why they never did it.
I mean, the thing is, what's bugged out is that when I was in, freaking, I had a change of the guard. So like my original staff sergeant, like my first staff sergeant, she retired early. She was great. She was like my second mom. She would literally like like my first ball. I brought my mom down. They talked and everything.
Yeah.
And it's like she's pretty much like my second mom. She would G check me like how my mom would do. And like the first,
can you hear her?
No.
All right, just making sure.
Okay. Yeah, no, the first group of people that I was with, like, were great. I mean, at first, like, you know how it is when you first are in with the unit. You basically are, it's not like they're basically like you have to get initiated in, so they're trying to see how you are, Yeah. So they would try to do certain things with me that I wasn't taking. I'm like, nah, you're not gonna do this with me. I'm sorry.
You ain't gonna sun me, dog.
Yeah, you're not. Like, that's one thing I did not tolerate. Like, you are not gonna call me a bitch. Like, you're not doing that.
Yeah.
I don't care about your rank. I don't care how long you've been in. I don't care if I just joined and I'm fucking wet behind the ears. At the end of the day, we take the uniform off. I'm a man first before I'm a Marine, and you're not gonna disrespect me. So, like, right then and there, as a private, because our schooling's only 2 weeks long.
You in and out, bro. You still private.
Yeah, we in and out there.
Yeah.
So I'm literally checking in, and they're like, "What'd you do?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? What'd you do?" And mind you, I would get that constantly to the point I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I get promoted next month because you check in as a private, you usually get in trouble and get demoted. Yeah. So it wasn't until I got, like, since everybody was like moving and leaving, and when the second wave basically went through, new management came in, that's how I was like, got it. Fuck y'all.
Man. Remember, units change over what, every 3-4 years?
Yeah.
Unit is completely different.
But the thing is, though, it wasn't every 3 years, though. It wasn't every 3 years. My staff sergeant retired early. Like, she retired.
I mean, it's supposed to be like 3
years. Yeah, but she retired early, and then I was, again, wet behind the ears, trying to be in charge of all these other fucking people, and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I had to learn on the fly.
Yeah.
But then when, we end up getting new management come in, and I was like, yeah, fuck this.
Yeah. I feel it, man. It's
tough.
No,
I'm good on that,
it's
man.
It's tough to see when things change like that. I mean, that was how it was, like, for me at the schoolhouse. Like, because I was there for 5. So I saw 3 mass sergeants come through there to, be in charge. So, and I had 3 different OICs. So I saw management change. 3 lieutenant colonels, 2 colonels of the base I saw. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm seeing management change in this motherfucker. And, at a certain point, you just, like, I remember when I first got there, that shit sucked. Because my command, my unit, my OIC and all them, tough, dude. They didn't give a fuck about an E5. Because at a schoolhouse, if you weren't staff, nobody gave a fuck about you. Right. You were junior Marine at that point. So, and then I remember when we got a new management, and that was the whole big thing, was that E5s weren't getting no respect. Then we got new management, and they was like all about us and shit like that. And then the next management came, and they pretty much stopped E5s coming. They said no, like, either you staff select or you don't come. So then it went to like, oh yeah, we don't give a fuck about no sergeant. We just don't want you here. Before, they wanted sergeants here so they can mess with us, so they can use us for any and everything. Hey, some shit got to get done at 3:00 in the morning. Get y'all ass up. This is your time, baby. And that's how we were getting used. But you see it change. The Marine Corps, man, military in general, man. Results may vary, bro. You don't know what you're gonna get. Yeah, you're gonna sign up, you're gonna go to a unit, and you could went the same unit I went to at 2 years difference. And it could be completely fucking different. What you got.
I mean, I was in before Myra. I was in, like, what? I had like a whole,
like a year or something on her, right?
Almost. And her freaking career was like,
yeah.
Like, I shit you not, the complete fucking opposite. And what's crazy is that we were both in the same unit, but a lot of shit. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a later date. Maria. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that on a later date. What
Yeah.
happened to her when we were in the first unit, and I basically just, I just what basically just ended up burning the fucking house down in a sense, to the
Yeah, I mean,
point that they
kind
were
of
like, yeah,
did. Yeah.
she gotta go. She
Yeah.
ends up going to a new fucking environment, a new scene, and she just blossomed.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So like again, yeah, results that may vary.
Yeah, bro. Because you
It
don't know
is
what you
true.
gonna get, bro. Shit. Forrest Gump told me that shit. Military like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you gonna get. This shit tough.
It
And
is.
but I mean,
So
that's cool though.
the transition from being a Marine, I mean, you know, we're always going to
Yeah.
be a Marine, but military life to civilian life, and you know, not even been a year out. How's that transition been for you?
Bro, I ain't even gonna hold you, man. It's probably like the most I ain't gonna say it's stressful, but it's definitely the most confusing time of my life.
Yeah.
Probably like, bro, this shit more confusing than going through puberty, bro. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Cause I mean, you know, I was in for almost 11 years. I don't all I know is, how to like the way I talk to people and the way that I interact with people, the common things that I will have with people are kind of the same. We are the same person. Like we
All
went
right.
through the same experiences. I'm not used to talking to people that weren't in the military. I don't know how to like connect with you. I don't. Like I don't know what you did. Like what did you do when when I talk to people and stuff like that? Oh yeah, man, I went to college. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. I don't know what that is. Or, and they say like, yeah, like around here, my small town where I live at, I have my brother-in-law and stuff. They lived here their entire life. This is it. They don't know anything else. And then, they traveled and stuff like that, but they don't know anything else. Like, what I'm saying? Like, I live in the Bible Belt. So, very religious, like people down, Christianity, stuff like that. Like they don't know any other religion. They never seen it, never been around it. They don't ever heard of it. So not only just in the military, I met people Muslim, Catholic, like all kind of stuff like that. I mean, shoot, I read the Quran because I wanted to in Afghan to understand why they were the way they were. People here
Right.
don't understand that. They don't understand that people are different when you go somewhere else. Like, I've seen the world at the best and at the worst. It's hard. It's so difficult to try to connect and like interact with people that haven't been through the slightest amount of stuff that I went through. Like, like even in your sense, even though you weren't in as long as I was, the situations, the stressors, the trials, the happies, the sads, the highs, the lows that you went through in those 4 years are more than what anybody else in those 4 years that didn't join the military went through. They don't know that. And then imagine
Yeah.
mine times two. Like, like at my when I was 23, I already been to what 14, 13 different countries. Like at 23. And I had 3 kids already. Like I wasn't even 30 yet. And I already had 3 kids. Like I'm done. I've been married for 7, 8 years at this point. I'm not 30 yet. And I just it's so hard. It's so difficult for me. I know it's gonna get better over time. I do. And I know I need to get out of this house to meet people and talk to people. I know it's hard. It is very hard to try to reach out to people and get to know people. I'm just used to talking to somebody for like 3 years and never really having to talk to them again. Used to
Yeah.
that. I've done that a lot in my life. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people I wish I could still talk to that, that was cool with years ago. But man, like I'm used to getting to know somebody to have the feeling of I'm not gonna be around you anymore in like 3, 4 years. I'm not around you anymore.
Yeah.
And it's been pretty difficult to try to transition out of that mentality, or me cursing somebody out anytime I get mad at them or something like that. Like, I'm used to that. I'm used to that. Somebody do something wrong, I motherfucking like I can just scream at them and it's all good. I
Yeah.
can't do that no more. I've done it already to somebody. That's scary. That scare people. That scare white folk. When I'm just out here just lose my mind at Walmart.
Right.
White people don't understand how that go through. They see an angry black man, but not knowing it's just the military. I just don't. I'm just having a hard time to whatever. It was only because somebody was standing close to me, bro. That's it. He was just
Mm.
standing way too close, way too fucking close. And I told him multiple times to back up, and he just didn't want to, and he got upset about it. So I got upset. You don't want me to get upset. That's for damn sure. You know what I'm saying? But it's been tough, man. It's probably, like I said, it's probably the most confusing time I've ever been through at this point. And I've went to Afghanistan and adjusted to that. This is way more confusing than that. Like this shit's weird.
I
It's
mean,
weird, bro.
shit, I've been out for 5 years,
Yeah.
and I mean, it gets better with time. I'm not gonna lie, it does get better with time because there's um, like the first 2.5 years, they're rough because you're trying to get accustomed to a certain lifestyle now that you were not accustomed to because it's a lot slower pace. So it's a lot slower pace. But like my first 2 years, mind you, I was after I got out, I went into the work for you, like the
Yeah.
workforce, civilian workforce, and it was just really confusing for me at that time because it's like like when you're in and you're working, there's structure. You do certain things a certain way. You're expected to have this type of performance when you're in the military, and then you go into the civilian work sector, and it's half-ass laziness. Motherfuckers that are in charge don't know what the fuck they're doing, and I'm like, yo, like, and it's like you go into a situation and it's just a big clusterfuck, and it's like, hey, y'all hired me. I have, some resources and I have resolutions to make this a way more functioning and overall effective workplace. Here's A, B, and C. Nah, we don't do shit like that. Then why the fuck did y'all hire me? And then on top of that, I noticed that like having a little piece of fucking paper that says bachelor degree or even an associate's meant way more than 4 years of work experience. Mind you, the work experience that I bring to the table, it's not like it's just working at fucking McDonald's or Walmart and shit like that. No, I was in charge of multi-million-dollar accounts.
Yeah.
I had subordinates under me. I was in a managerial fucking role when I was in the Marine Corps. To come out and to be given the lowest of the lowest fucking entry level job with no room to fucking grow. Shit, I've been out for 5 years. If I decided to get a job right now, I'll be on my 15th fucking job. 15. Because there was no room to grow because I didn't have a little piece of paper that said bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
Which is fucking insane. And then on top of that, like to deal with like your coworkers complain about, we have to come in at 6 o'clock and we got to stay in and do this. All that. I'm like, mind you, I'm over here like, hey, yo, can I stay later for overtime? You don't want to go home? Yeah, I want to go home, but shit, I'm trying to get this money. Like the fuck,
money one way or another, bro.
like shit. It's been a long. Listen, I was 4 years on salary. Y'all paying me hourly. I'm gonna take advantage.
I'm gonna get these hours in, baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my money. Cause shit, they had me from 5 to fucking 7 in the nighttime.
Shit, they got you whenever they want you.
Exactly. So I'm gonna take advantage of this. And they complaining, they're like, oh yeah, like I'm like, this ain't shit. This is easy. This is fucking easy money right here, bro. Why are you complaining? And it's just like couldn't understand it. But then it's like I realized not everybody went through what I went through. So it's like that's why I've been out for 5 years. And like you said, everything when you're in the military, shit is temporary. There's no permanent. You make this relationship with this person, and in 3-4 years, they're fucking gone. And you gotta start again from fucking scratch.
Go find you a new friend, bro.
Exactly. It's to the point like, my wife, when we went to Johnson, she was like, hey, you need to make friends. And that's how we end up clicking. And then shit, it's been 5 years,
Yeah.
Because I literally just had gotten out like a couple months after I
Yeah,
met
yeah, it
y'all.
wasn't that long. You weren't
Yeah,
out
it
that long.
wasn't that long.
Yeah.
But it's like now where I'm in Florida, been out here for 2 years. I don't have a friend out here.
Still ain't
And
got
that's
nobody.
and that's on purpose because again, at the end of the day, it's like
You
it's
gonna leave.
temporary. I'm gonna leave. It's not like we're staying here. We're gonna move on to the next chapter in our lives. And I just don't want to invest that time to give to somebody. And it may be, I might be missing out on an opportunity to meet somebody cool. But at the end of the day, I know like because I've dealt with that back home. Like I would try to hit up people that from Jersey that I was in high school that I was cool with. They never had time for me. And I was like, all right, you know what? I'm good on that. And honestly, that kind of played a factor into, my mental health in a sense when I got out because I had a hard time. I struggled so hard
Yeah.
to transition from being a Marine into civilian because when I was in, I actually fucking mattered, not as much, but I mattered because
Yeah.
I had a job to do and they needed me. I had some importance. But now, ain't nobody give a fuck. like, oh, you're just a husband. Yeah. Oh, you're just Myra's husband. Okay. You're just a spouse. You're dependent.
At
It's all
this point,
good.
that's pretty much what it is, man.
Yeah. So it's like it just takes some time. Honestly, I can say that.
Trying.
Like, just
I'm trying.
accept fate. Hey, it is
Yeah.
what it is at this point.
I mean, I'm gonna be here. This is the goal. This is the end game at this point. I have no
Yeah.
intentions on moving. I don't plan on moving. If we did move, it's gonna be in this area still. It's not like I'm gonna move states again. I plan on being right here in this area, and I'm trying to, I'm trying to give my kids what I didn't have, stability. I moved a lot. I moved a lot when I was younger. You know, lived in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, multiple places in North Carolina, back to South Carolina, moved up to Virginia, and moved twice in Virginia. And, I'm trying my best to give my kids some sort of stability, my wife, the house that her parents are in right now, it's the same house that she grew up in. Bedroom that we sleep in when we stay the night over there is her bedroom that she had when she was a kid. And that's amazing. That's beautiful to me. I ain't never heard
That's
no shit
cool.
like that.
That's
That's
cool.
new shit. You got like that, right? Your parents are in the same house that y'all were in, right?
Well, it's just apartment, but yeah,
Oh, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
we ain't like that. Like I ain't got that.
I mean, shit. My grandmother in New
Yeah,
York, she still lives in the same apartment that my dad grew up in.
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, like have
I'm not.
Christmas,
I don't know
Thanksgivings
what
in the
that
spot that
is.
my pops grew up in.
I'm not. I
Like,
don't know what that is. Like I've never experienced that type of shit. So I'm giving that to my kids now, and I'm trying my best to adapt to this. To adapt to this, I'm gonna be here. I need to make a friend or two. Go outside and go talk to somebody or some
yeah,
shit.
get some vitamin D and
You know
shit.
what I'm saying? Get some vitamin D, and then at the same time, like kind of why I like doing photography because I can meet people that like one person or like a single person that I can meet that I can talk to that I can connect some way with just photography at least.
Yeah,
Like, I met some really cool people doing this so far, like some pretty like, what I'm saying, like close people, like they real chill, real cool that I've done photos with multiple times and I don't mind doing photos with them. Shoot, had last one came through, last photo shoot I did. I mean, she met me up the street from my house, and I was cool with it because I was just like, it's cool, like she's cool people, and I'm trying my best to just relax and
yeah.
become a normal person again,
That's
normal
one thing.
relationships.
That's one thing.
And I'm trying, dude.
There is no normal. That's the
I know,
thing.
bro. I know.
So it's like you have to accept it. There
Yes.
is not going to be a normal. There is no normal. Bro,
Shit
like
weird.
you're a Marine, all right. So nobody, you it's rough to meet other Marines in spots that like it's like finding a needle in a haystack in a sense.
I met a couple. I
Unless you
met a
go to the
couple,
the
but
veteran groups and
I
stuff
met a
like that.
couple, but some of these dudes little old heads,
Yeah,
so we're
exactly.
not
Like
in the
the veteran
same.
group. Yeah, the veteran groups out here, like they gray in the hair and the beard
They
and just
Vietnam vets and shit. We
yes,
are
and it's
not
like
the same.
yeah, we are not the same.
And
Like yeah,
then
granted, we have the same title, but we are not the same, man.
also the hard thing about vets, what I have noticed recently, especially going to these groups and stuff, It's not a lot of vets of ethnicity that are coming together to meet up.
Yeah,
So
I noticed
most
that
of the time
too.
when I went to these, it's majority white guys. And don't get me
Yeah,
wrong, like I can connect with my country folk. I'm from the Carolinas. You know what I'm saying? I can fish and stuff. We got stuff in common. But at the same time, I don't meet a lot of black guys that been in the military, or they don't want to talk about it, or they don't want to reach out. Like it's hard. It's hard. It'd be nice to meet like an older black guy who was in the Marine Corps. I don't think I met
yeah,
one, except I've one. I met one through my mother. And he's cool dude, cool dude. But he older, it's like it's kind of hard just to connect with somebody like minded. So I'm trying my best, man. I really am. This guy at church, he's about my age. We talk every once in a while, but I think he's going through the same type of stuff that I'm going through, where it's just hard to connect with each other. We want to, but it's like,
you just
I'm
got. Sometimes it's like you
not
just got to
used
put
to being a
yourself out
person.
there. No, sometimes you just got to put yourself out there. Like just take the
Yeah,
chance and be like, fuck it,
that
just.
sounds that sounds like work. You said
I
put
mean, it
myself
is.
out there, vulnerable and shit. I
I
don't know
mean,
what
hey,
that is, dog.
I
I
mean,
don't know.
shit. Keep it a buck. I put myself out there when I met you,
Well, yeah, that is true. I
so
did
it's
that.
like I took that chance.
I mean, bro, you was a Hispanic. We was gonna be cool.
You don't know that though, because again, the dynamic was different. I wasn't in anymore. I was the spouse.
Actually, I do think if we met at the right time, because if I worked with Myra longer than what I did, I wouldn't have want to meet you. I think that would have definitely would have worked because me and Myra weren't cool for a while. For a while,
Yeah,
we were beefing.
yeah,
So if I met you after that, I would be like, you know, what I'm saying, you probably wouldn't like me either. You'd be like, oh, this dude keep dogging my wife and shit. They be arguing this shit at work. You wouldn't want to be cool with me. But of course, with us being cool, then it kind of eased out everything with me and her too. We got better over time too.
because
So
she just had to accept the fact, like, yeah, like this relationship ain't gonna go away, and I'm not gonna.
she had to accept me at that point. She was like, God
Yeah,
damn it. Could find you another friend? Nope. Myra, I ain't leaving. This is it. We don't work with each other no more, so we could be cool, like real cool
yeah,
now. Like we don't
yeah.
work with each other, so we don't have to worry about that. But it's cool, man. Like I'm getting there. Like I'm trying my best. And like you said, man, it's I ain't been that long. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. It feels like I've been out for 2 years, but
It does feel like that. No, it does feel
I've
like that.
like it's crazy to think, bro. I'm months out from a year. I am months out.
It's because it's slow.
Dude,
You're not used
I
to the
am
slowness. You're not used to the slowness. It's like it's always been a fast pace. Like you get up, you
I
fucking
think what's
PT.
crazy though, ever since I bought the house, it's been going faster. I feel a lot better now about the house. When I
Yeah,
was living with somebody, that shit sucked. But now, I'm an adult now. I got my own house and my own stuff. It's great.
yeah. It is great.
So it's been cool, man. I'm just trying my best, bro. It'll get better. I know it will. I'm just trying to keep my head
Yeah.
up and
No, it's gonna get better.
don't close myself off. Just trying to be.
Yeah, the thing is like you'll find out, and you'll end up getting this, it down pack when to let yourself out there and just when to not. Like, so again, it's like I've been out here for 2 years, and I've met a couple of cool people down the way, and for college actually helped with that a lot. Meeting cool people. I'm not over here chilling with them from time to time. But,
Yeah.
I went to the movies with one of my classmates. Mind you, he what just turned 20, so it's like the age gap is
Young
crazy.
Thundercat.
Yeah, but he's a cool dude. He's real cool. But the thing is, though, he don't act his age. He's real mature for his age.
Yeah.
And then I just got cool with a 38-year-old. So it's
Yeah.
like he's
I mean,
38 in the
most
class.
of these people I take pictures with, they
Yeah,
young.
and what's
Like,
bugged out, we had a conversation, and he thought I was a lot older. He was like, "Oh, I thought you were like 31." I'm like, "No, I'm just 28." He's like, "You're real mature for your age." I'm like, "Well, these damn kids, man, you gotta,
kids do it to you, bro.
yeah, kids will do it to you."
Yeah,
So it's like, it's just certain. I understood like it's just certain situations where you just let yourself out there, be yourself, give them some, like, what I do is like just give them a little bit, see what happens, and then
one day,
all
one
right,
day,
nah, I can't. All right,
one day I'll put myself out there, emotional and shit.
Yeah.
Trying to get a friend one day. I'm cool with my realtor. Heard to my man Tim. Me and him cool. I mean, we was cool. But I'll get there. I'll get to that point where I'm a little bit more open to talk to people and stuff. Like my in-laws, my brother-in-laws, all three of them. Like we're cool and stuff. Like we talk when we hang out and at family functions and stuff. We connect. We connect a lot better than what it was before. I didn't live here. Now that they see me often, like especially my oldest brother-in-law, so I lived with him for a while. Now we talk a lot, and this is the same guy. I remember in the beginning where I hated him. Like I hated him. Like saying we had beef when I first met him. And now, we're really close. We talk often. And then, of course, the other brother, I got a fantasy football league. I've been doing with him for like 3-4 years. So me and him are really close. So, and it's, I'm
It's
getting
gonna
there.
get better. It's
You know
gonna
what
get
I'm saying? You
better.
know what I'm saying? I need to branch out from just family,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's cool though. It's cool though.
Okay. So I want to close off this episode with, a very important topic to myself. And I know it's very important to you as well. We're in the month of September. September is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. And honestly, I feel like it doesn't get talked enough about suicide prevention, especially when it comes for the male aspect of it, because 79% of suicide deaths are from males, you know. And I just want to put it out there, like, if you're going through a rough spot or if you're going through a tough time or you're in a dark place in your life, just remember you do fucking matter. Like shit, somebody out there does care about you and they do want to see you still living and breathing. We've both lost a lot of great people in our lives to suicide. You know, shit, I was on the verge of doing it my damn self at one point. And honestly, this man right there is one of the reasons why, like, he helped me through that rough time in my life. And, same thing with my parents. And it's a real touchy subject for me because it's hit me and I was in that deep, dark space. And the one thing I can say is just talk to somebody. It, again, at the end of the day, like I had to reset everything, go back and talk to a therapist 3 times a week just to get myself right, you know? So it's like, I just want to put it out there. Like, you do fucking matter.
No.
You're better off alive than dead. And there is somebody out there. It could be either your mom, your dad, shit, your siblings, even a fucking friend. Your life does matter. You're not garbage. You are fucking flawless in a sense. You know, you're like, how people say, "Oh, I'll die for you." It's real easy to fucking die for somebody. It's harder to live for somebody.
Uh, it's something that people need to understand that it's a very serious thing and something that we, especially in this type of environment or this type of platform, want to put it out there to be something like you're not alone. We talked about in a couple episodes already that you're more than just a parent, and you're still somebody to somebody. Your kids. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I've seen the damage that it can happen when a parent commits that type of thing and what it does to the child. And we had me and him both had a really close friend that passed away uh, through that, and it was a really tough time, man. It was really hard because we just kind of just look back on it to be like, what else could we have done or said, or tried to do for him to get him out of that
Yeah,
rut. And we've been in ruts that we've been trying to fight out, and just remember there's always avenues out there. Like you said, friends, family, spouse, child, anybody. You know what I'm saying? You got the veteran, you got the veterans crisis line out there for the vets, the suicide hotline, a crisis lifeline out there. You can text 988 is something that you can use just in case if you're going through something. You text that, and someone can reach out to you immediately for that. while you're in the military, you have outlets in there as well. Please don't forget that. Even if you're a spouse in the military, you could still use the hospital and stuff like that on base to help you while you're going through certain situations. I always tell people, I always see it all the time. I always share it that I'd rather listen to your problems than listen to your eulogy. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
that's a
saying? I'd
fact.
rather you tell me all the problems in the fucking world. Tell me all the stress, bro. Because I'd rather hear that than hear that you were a great guy and a good father. That's not what I want to fucking hear. Tell me your fucking problems, man. If that's what people need, that's what you need to talk about. By all means, man, reach out to somebody, talk to somebody. You mean something to somebody. Probably someone you probably didn't even expect it to. You know what I'm saying? There
Exactly.
could be somebody on your Instagram that y'all just like each other's pictures randomly and some shit, but that you don't know that person can mean the world to you or something like that. You don't know.
I
Just
mean, shit.
please, just
If
always
it,
remember to think about like that. I
yeah,
wear I wear my boy bracelet ever since I got it. So what I probably got it maybe a day after his funeral, and I haven't taken it off. I think about it every day. I have his placard sitting right here in front of me, and I think about it all the time, man. Like it helps me get through things because I remember him, and I remember like trying to push my
understand.
way through situations, and I just think about that. I
Yeah.
think about that. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's always in my mind. So it's not just him. I got a lot of people that I lost. Corporal Taylor, Corporal Davis. I remember. I remember them both, like really close friends of mine, Marines of mine that did the exact same thing. I never forget them, and it's just something to think about. Know that this is the month. Sorry, it got a little sad on y'all right here at the end,
But
but
it has to be
hey,
talked
man,
about.
it
It
got to
doesn't
be
get
said,
talked. It
bro.
doesn't get talked about. It doesn't get talked about enough. And
Got to be
honestly,
said.
and if you're watching this or you're hearing this and shit, you have me and you haven't talked for fucking years,
I'm
goddamn
here.
decades,
I'm
you know,
here.
and I don't give a fuck. Like, reach out
I'm
because
here.
trust me, I I was in that time. I was in that spot, and honestly, I should not have been in that spot. But if it happens, and
You don't
honestly,
know.
if it,
You don't know what people are going through,
yeah,
and by all means, man, like, you could
and
always
I
reach out
honestly,
to
I
somebody.
think, and honestly, I feel like I think that's the reason why, like, my wife just accepts the fact, like, accepted the fact that you weren't gonna go away
Yeah.
because this man right here, he was besides family, the reason, and he was with me from day one when I was going through that darkness, and he didn't go away. And shit, he didn't have to be there. So this is going to conclude our episode of the Trophy Husband podcast. Well, hope again, like I said, it had to be talked about. So
Yeah.
yeah, we
Nah,
didn't want to.
and we're gonna talk about it again. So
We'll talk about it again another day. We'll get more in depth into it. Probably share a story or two about how it affected, relationships, affected us as individuals. You know,
yeah.
but we'll see y'all next time.
I know as we did before, just be on the lookout as we post in clips and other stories on the IG, on the TikToks, on the YouTubes and stuff like that. Uh this one I'll be able to look at. Hopefully, by the time you see this one and you hear this one, this will also be on Spotify podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and stuff like that. Working it out to get it on those platforms as well. So we can put it out there to have different avenues for you to be able to listen to it if you just want to listen to it. And then of course we have the YouTube videos if you want to watch it.
That's
And
right. That's right.
but yeah, we're getting it out there. Gonna be looking at maybe not next episode, but probably like an episode or two we'll be looking at. We might be having somebody join in on this, get a different perspective of other people's situations. And once again, just be on the lookout for it. If you want to, just reach out to us and we'll do what we can and we're gonna keep doing it, keep getting better for you guys.
That's a fact. That is a
Big
fact.
ups. So but yeah. But nah, that's it. Anything else, bro?
Nah, man, we good.
All right. Y'all be easy.
Yep.